lifted Frank Beamer's program to new heights with their first bowl bid in 7 years. For the first time in this rivalry's long run, a bowl bid, national ranking, and backyard bragging rights are all on the line as Virginia hosts Virginia Tech.
Jefferson Pilot Sports presents the best in regional college football. The Atlantic Coast Conference. The Exxon ACC Game of the Week is brought to you by Supreme Gasoline. For high performance, rely on the Tiger. By Pepsi. Be young, have fun, drink Pepsi. By Delta Airlines. With the industry's best overall record of passenger satisfaction, even business trips are a pleasure on Delta. By Lee Apparel. With regular, relaxed, and loose-fit jeans, Lee is the brand that fits. By your local Mazda dealers. By First Union. When it comes to service, everything matters. And by the Jefferson Pilot Life Insurance Company. The vision to power your dreams.
Welcome to Scott Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia, where today Jefferson Pilot Sports brings you the Exxon ACC Game of the Week. Virginia steps out of conference to take on in-state rival Virginia Tech. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Steve Martin along with Jack Corrigan. Well, this rivalry really needs no stoking, but just to add an ingredient, for the first time in 75 meetings, both of these teams, Jack, will carry a national ranking into this game.
Both top 25 teams, Virginia Tech making their bowl bid secure last week with the victory. They're going on to the Independence Bowl. But for Virginia, a lot of people believe the Cavaliers have to win today if they're going to go bowling at the end of the year.
For Virginia, it's been a star-crossed season. All the momentum that they had kind of fizzled after their dramatic win over North Carolina. We talked to George Welch earlier this week about what's wrong.
The thing that's hurt us recently on offense is that we have not been able to sustain something because we keep turning the ball over, and we put our defense in bad positions a lot. It seems like most of the turnovers are on our end of the field, and then the defense is in a tough position.
It's been a tough couple of weeks for Simeon Willis. 8 interceptions the last 2 ball games, but his top trio of receivers have missed the last 2 games. That's a big reason why.
Now, Virginia Tech doesn't have that problem. Frank Beamer's got a lot to be happy about as far as his football team is concerned.
Well, and you again go right back to the quarterback spot. Maurice DeShazo has been outstanding. He's been the difference for the Hokies.
I think the real difference is our quarterback. Maurice DeSajo has got years of experience. He's throwing the ball much better for us. He's making better decisions. He's just a much better quarterback, and that's helped us to be a much better football team.
Maurice DeShazo's been putting up some great numbers this year. He is 2nd in the Big East in efficiency and 4th overall in the country.
Well, you look, 22 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions, so DeShazo certainly has done an outstanding job. He's been helped also by a very potent ground game for Virginia Tech. They are led by 1,000-yard rusher Dwayne Thomas, maybe the best running back in Blacksburg since Cyrus Lawrence more than a dozen years ago. And when he's not in the ball game, they've got redshirt freshman touchdown Tommy Edwards, who has scored 10 times this year for the Hokies.
When we come back, there's another story to call here at Charlottesville. We'll be back with it right after this. Virginia and Virginia Tech getting set to go at it for the 75th time here in Charlottesville, Virginia. And as if the task isn't difficult enough for Virginia with the injuries they've got on offense, they've got a big problem on their offensive line. And here to talk about that and other All-Americans is our All-American, Mike Hogwood.
Thanks, Steve, for that nice introduction. Yeah, it's going to be cool, blustery, and windy down here. And let's talk a minute about some ACC All-Americans. And there were some guys from the league who have made the first team. Charlie Ward, great quarterback of Florida State, and that awesome linebacker Derek Brooks. And how about the stalker Bracy Walker of North Carolina, who's super on special teams as well as the defensive backfield. And we do have a first-team All-American playing in this game today. He plays for Virginia Tech. Jim Pine, who is a great center, number 73. He's going to be a real force on that Hokie offensive line. You mentioned problems, Steve Martin. There are problems. Mark Dixon will not play today. Matter of fact, he is through as a Virginia Cavalier. Academic problems have made him ineligible. And as you see, he follows in a great tradition of All-American lineman Mark Dixon, but he is not available to the Cavaliers, and they're going to have a tough time filling that hole today. But this crowd is into it, as it always is, for this great rival game between Virginia and Virginia Tech. Virginia has won the last couple of years. Virginia Tech is headed for some revenge, and we've got the kickoff coming your way live from Charlottesville, Virginia, in just a moment.
Welcome back to Scott Stadium. Every nook and cranny filled on a beautiful day for football. A little brisk and cool. Frank Beamer has never won on this field. He's come close a couple of times. And George Welch, of course, looking at his 7th straight winning season, but it could be a 2nd straight season without a bowl bid if they don't get it done this afternoon. Ryan Williams will kick off as Virginia Tech won the coin toss but deferred their option to the second half. There's Jared Washington to receive the kick for Virginia. Virginia Tech leads the series. First time in 75 meetings that both are ranked in the top 25. But Virginia has won 5 out of the last 6. We are set to go in Charlottesville. Williams' kick is underway and getting under it. Here comes Washington at the 6. And Washington stumbles just outside the 17-yard line. Let's take a look at our Mazda starting lineups. Offensively for Virginia, Simeon Willis under center.
They're going to hope to run the ball with Charles Way and Jared Washington, but without Mark Dixon up front, they'll have to rely on the passing game a little more. The changeover with the absence of Dixon, Jason Augustino moves in as the starting tackle, and Jim Reed, the normal starting left tackle, has moved to left guard.
Willis, you see his numbers, but 8 interceptions out of those 13 have come over the last 2 weeks. 1st and 10, Washington gets the cover, and what a block out in front of him by Jim Reed after the 29-yard line, a gain of close to 10. Here's the Virginia Tech defense.
Young up front with freshman Cornell Brown, Jackson, Holland, and Lewis. An excellent linebacking core headed up by Kenny Brown. He just flies to the football. They have had some problems with the absence of Tyrone Drakeford in the secondary. Big game last week for Torian Gray, number 14, the rover back.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2 for Virginia on their own 27-yard line. It's Larry Holmes in motion. Play action for Simeon Willis on a 3 down. And he's got Holmes out complete at midfield. Big strike of 23 yards for Virginia.
What a difference having a veteran receiver back in the lineup alongside of Tyrone Davis. Larry Holmes, who has been plagued with a dislocated shoulder the last couple of weeks. Good play fake here. Willis had a couple of options. He had Neely short, but had Holmes open deeper in front of William Yarborough. They also had a penalty flag thrown down at the end of the play. I believe a taunting call is going to go against Virginia. They'll still have the first down, but the ball will be moved back to the 35-yard line.
Thomas Thamert makes the call. Unsportsmanlike conduct. This is a Big East crew officiating today.
Well, throwing the football in the face of William Yarborough is what got Larry Holmes the penalty.
1st and 10, but it's 15 yards back into Virginia territory at the 35-yard line instead of at midfield. That's Neely in motion. Former high school teammate Simeon Willis back there, quarterback. Willis on the keep. And Willis, who averages close to 3 yards per carry, including the quarterback sacks, picks up an 11.
Right now, Virginia Tech putting a lot of people in the box. They've taken their 2 inside linebackers, Brown and Del Rico. See Kenny Brown right on the line of scrimmage. He gets submarined on the play by Charles Way, the fullback. Creates a gap for Simeon Willis. He finds that first down marker and stretches underneath Del Rico.
So Willis gets about 11 of those 15 yards back and finds his fullback, Charles Way. The tackle made by Cornell Brown at about the 48-yard line. Give him a gain of about 3. Brown, they like a lot. A true freshman out of Lynchburg, Virginia.
Now, one of the things you're going to have to watch here in the early going, the different things employed by both teams to try and take advantage of the emotional edge that a game like this has early on. Virginia's going with long counts. That time they went with a quick count.
Second down and about 8 after the gain of 2. Even 8-man front for Virginia Tech. Washington spreads his way up over the 50 into Virginia Tech territory, brought down by J.C. Price, the fifth-year senior from Dunkirk, Maryland. Gain of about 3 on the play.
Well, you can see the decision made by Phil O'Mason, the defensive coordinator for Virginia Tech, at least early on here, with the problems Virginia's had with their wide receivers the last couple of weeks. He is putting a lot of people up around the line of scrimmage.
On the Georgia Tech 48, no score. Third down and about 4 coming up for the Cavaliers. Out of the shotgun, Willis. Draw play, Washington. First down, Virginia at the 41-yard line. Dwayne Knight, the inside linebacker, has to come up to stop it.
Virginia trying to reestablish their dominance on the line of scrimmage, even with the absence of All-American Mark Dixon. Good push off the line of scrimmage, had the Virginia Tech defense looping to the outside on the passing situation, created a bigger gap for Washington.
Now they have offset, Jack, that 15-yard penalty by 8 yards, as a matter of fact. On first down, play action for Simeon Willis. Big rush on. Del Rico had him at the last moment. And they were going for Holmes over on the Virginia Tech sideline. That's Pete Allen, actually, who they were going after. Demetrius Allen. Caught his first touchdown pass a week ago against Clemson. Del Rico was really putting the pressure on Simeon Willis that time.
Well, Del Rico and Brown, the two inside linebackers of the trio of linebackers, have combined for nearly 200 tackles in the 10 Virginia Tech games this season. You're going to hear those names called quite frequently this afternoon.
Second down and 10. There's Washington, and Washington is hit right at the line of scrimmage. Lawrence Lewis, a sophomore out of Hampton, Virginia, making the tackle.
Lawrence Lewis, a redshirt sophomore, just stood up. Bobby Neely, the tight end, drove him back into the hole, discarded him, and buried Washington.
All in the space of about 5 seconds. Big third down, though. 9th play of this drive that started at the Virginia 19. 3rd and 10, no score. Back to throw, Willis. Now he'll run out of it. And he'll not get the first down. He's at the 38-yard line. Coming up to help, Bernard Basham, and Torian Gray finishes him off at the 38-yard line. It's about a 3-yard gain.
Out of the field goal range right now. And George Welsh, I think, is going to punt the football away and try and pin back that potent Virginia Tech offense.
Will Bryce will do the honors, leads the ACC in punting this season. Steve Sanders will be back to receive inside the 10 if there's one to be had there. The wind now moving down the field, and it is blocked. Blocked by Virginia Tech. They've blocked 3, now 4 punts this season. Recovered at the 20-yard line of Virginia. There is a flag, however, on the play at the 45-yard line. This may all come back. Brandon Simonis got the block.
False start against Virginia.
It's declined. Virginia Tech has the football. The 4th block punt of the season by the Virginia Tech Hokies.
This was a multiple choice block. I mean, they just outmanned it right here, and that was cleanly blocked by Simonis. Or was Simonis, was Okessa Smith was the man who finally had contact with the football. Virginia eventually recovered it, but Virginia Tech with the first break of the game, and what a momentum shift that is.
Maurice DeShazo at quarterback. Handoff now goes to Thomas, and he threads his way down to the 16-yard line. Let's take a look at the Virginia Tech starting lineup. DeShazo with Joe Swarm at fullback.
Dwayne Thomas, the 1,000-yard rusher. Sanders has done a great job alongside of Freeman. Good offensive line headed up by the All-American center Jim Pine, senior out of Milford, Mass, is considered maybe the best offensive lineman in the country.
Maurice DeShazo's maturity and the development of that offensive line under J.B. Grimes, two of the reasons why Virginia Tech fields are a lot better this year. Second down and about 7. DeShazo's tries to keep and is hammered by McKeska, Matt McKeska, as you look at the defensive line, and Mike Frederick.
Frederick, the outstanding down lineman. Randy Neal and Jamie Sharper, the two leading tacklers for Virginia. Secondary headed up by McClellan at cornerback and Keith Lyle with 5 interceptions at strong safety. Watch the penetration by Mike Frederick on the option. DeShazo had absolutely no place to go.
3rd and 10. Virginia Tech on the loss of 3. DeShazo to throw over the middle. It is complete by Sanders to the 15-yard line. A gain of 4. It'll bring up 4th down, and the field goal unit team will come onto the field.
This year, Virginia Tech has converted nearly 90% of the time this year in the red zone, and nearly 80% of the time it's resulted in touchdowns. They'll have to settle for the field goal try here.
A 30-yard boot by Ryan Williams. He's a straight-on kicker. Had half of his foot severed in a lawnmower accident. Wears a Tom Dempsey-type boot. The kick out of John Shields' hold. Kick is high, and it is good. So Virginia Tech takes care of opportunity as the block punt sets them up inside the 20. And for the 35th time this season, inside the 20, they score, leading it 3-0. Steve Martin along with Jack Corrigan and Mike Hogwood at Charlottesville. Virginia Tech strikes first. A 30-yard field goal by Ryan Williams after Virginia Tech had blocked a punt, their 4th punt block of the season, and recovered the rolling football 44 yards downfield at the 20-yard line of Virginia. Williams with the kick, and this will send Tiki Barber deep in the end zone, 7 yards deep, and he'll come out to the 20-yard line on the touchback. And that's where Virginia will get it 1st and 10. George Welch said giving the defense bad field position by either turnovers or specialty drives, and that's what happened to Virginia that time.
Well, the big play on 2nd down by Mike Frederick to drop DeShazo in the backfield for a loss enabled the Virginia defense to limit the damage to just 3 points, but now the offense has to go out there and be productive again, finish off what they started. They're starting to become a 30-30 team, breaking down as they near the scoring zone.
1st and 10 from the 20. Virginia trailing by a field goal, 3-0, and Charles Way, the big fullback out of Philadelphia, carries out to the 28-yard line. Let's go to the sidelines and Mike Hogwood.
Steve, you saw Ryan Williams' kickoff go about 8 yards in the end zone. There is a bit of a breeze down here on the field, and it is in Virginia's face right now. One reason they tried to punt the last time instead of go for that field goal.
That will be a factor, as Virginia, of course, will possibly have the football with the wind at their back in the 4th. 2nd down at about 2. Davis in motion. Flag on the play. Handoff goes to Washington. He gets to the 29, but we'll see what the flag is.
I think we had the outside left side of the defensive line in the neutral zone, and that's what it is. Virginia Tech had 9 men on the line of scrimmage for 2nd and short.
So Virginia will get another 1st down, and they'll get it out over the 33-yard line. Simeon Willis's numbers on the season, his total offensive output, been pretty strong. Tied for 3rd in single season yards passing. Needs 154 today to take over the undisputed top spot. 1st and 10. Willis carries on his own and gets out to the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5. Jared Washington did a nice blocking job for him, finishing them off J.C. Price and Ken Brown.
At least a trend here early on. Virginia not running anything in terms of a straight drop back except out of the shotgun. Anytime they've gone with the snap from center, Willis has rolled out, run a couple of times, and thrown a couple of times.
Off the shotgun, as a matter of fact, Jack, they've gone draw. 2nd down and 5 rather. Here's Washington. 1st down and more. Washington brought down by George Del Rico, but not before he gets big yardage up to the Virginia Tech 46-yard line. 16 yards.
Well, the right side of that offensive line of Virginia Tech has been overlooked a lot. They had what's called an axe block or a cross there where Collins, the guard, went outside and Slocum, the tackle, came down inside, and a gaping hole for Washington.
Jared Washington, who came on from the 3rd game of the season on, he's got 5 carries for 34 yards this afternoon, and he's given Virginia another 1st down. Davis in motion. Charles Way, and there's absolutely nothing there. The young freshman, or actually sophomore, Lawrence Lewis, makes the stop in the middle. Virginia Tech's defense has been racked by injuries. Tyrone Drakeford talked about. P.J. Preston did not come back this season. And they've got a lot of youngsters, true freshmen and redshirt freshmen, especially in the secondary. Defensive coordinator Phil Omation says they've only traveled 7 defensive backs.
Good play by one of those youngsters, Waverly Jackson, a redshirt freshman, buried the center, Brian Heath, and it really clogged up the hole.
2nd down and 9. Out of the shotgun. Virginia Tech showing blitz. Virginia shows the draw, and it busts down at the line of scrimmage at the 45-yard line, thanks to Cornell Brown, the true freshman, on the stop of Jared Washington.
Jim Reed takes on a greater responsibility right now at left guard, playing a newer position with the academic problems of Mark Dixon, and got pretty much of a stalemate that time with J.C. Price, but no help around him.
3rd down and 9. Again, 7 in the box for Virginia Tech, and they're blitzing. Willis trying to pick them apart, goes to Holmes for the 1st down at the 33-yard line. Gain on the play of 12.
Holmes matched up one-on-one with William Yarborough because of the blitz, as Steve Martin indicated. And Holmes almost didn't get turned in time. Willis had to get this ball away because of the pressure, and Larry had actually just turned and stumbled, but managed to keep his head and shoulders up and squared to the ball and made the catch.
Virginia's been down here before, and they had a punt block. And now we have a flag on the play here with 5:18 left to go in the 1st quarter. Score is 3-0. Virginia Tech over Virginia, thanks to an Ryan Williams field goal. See what the flag is going to be. Probably against Virginia.
Dead ball, illegal procedure, illegal snap against the offense. 1st down.
Thomas Thamert not finding too much legal at all with what Virginia did that time.
Nothing drives a coach nuttier than being so productive. Then all of a sudden, as you get down into the area where you have to be sharp, to fall apart. The punt block, the 1st series, this time 1st and 10, and you hate 1st and 15.
Back to the 38-yard line. Way and Washington, the setbacks. Virginia Tech with a 6-man front, and they're blitzing on Willis, and they've got him. And it's going to be J.C. Price. A loss of 7 on the play.
Watch the right side. Jared Washington, not much of a block. Number 22 was supposed to chip that guy and go out. That was a very tiny chip. That was a microchip there. That's why Simeon Willis got in trouble, and J.C. Price with the big play defensively. Virginia Tech figuring they've got to put pressure on the quarterback because of their problems in the secondary.
2nd and a country mile. Going straight ahead is Washington, and he gets down to about the 38-yard line. Give him a gain of 7. That'll chop it down to 3rd and 15. Washington's been a workhorse here, but again, as Jack indicated, that 30 has acted like a rubber wall to the Virginia offense.
Well, 3rd down and still a bunch, about 14 to pick up the 1st down.
3rd and 14. 3-0 Virginia Tech. Virginia with the football in Virginia Tech territory at the 37. Willis to throw. They took it under. And gets the first down. Inside the 22-yard line. He got the first down. Jeff Holland helps to make the tackle for Virginia Tech.
Well, as he scrambled to get that first down, watch the end of this replay. He nearly loses control of the football. Good chop block on George Del Rico. Made a good move to get away from Ken Brown. Nearly lost the football and stretched out. They're going to measure now to see whether or not he got the first down, and he did. So Virginia keeps the drive alive. Obviously, they like to roll right because Willis is right-handed. It might also be, Steve, that they feel the Virginia Tech defense a little more vulnerable at their left defensive end in terms of containment.
Torian Gray was the one who tried to strip the ball out of Simeon Willis's hand. 1st and 10 now. Virginia at the Virginia Tech 23-yard line. Down to the 20-yard line. Gain of about 3 on the play. Ken Brown also coming up there. Lawrence Lewis with a big tackle for Virginia Tech. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 2nd down and 7.
Although Virginia trails in this game 3-0 with less than 3 minutes to play in the first quarter, they have to be pleased about the fact that Virginia Tech may end up with 3 plays offensively in an entire quarter.
85 yards on the ground for Virginia so far. 2nd down and 7. Willis rushes on, going for the end zone. Holmes can't get there. He was open.
One of my favorite patterns for a one-on-one receiver down in the red zone is the post corner or the post flag route. And Willis just got it out there a little bit too far. It was a good inside move to turn around William Yarborough, but Holmes couldn't get himself stretched out quite far enough to come up with the catch.
So it brings up 3rd down and 7 at the 20-yard line. Virginia trailing 3-0. First quarter, 2:20 left. They've had the ball all but 3 plays. Here's Willis. Throws again for Holmes, and this time that's Bobby Neely, actually, and it's incomplete. And that brings up 4th down and brings the field goal unit on.
George Del Rico ran around to the outside and blitzed, and Willis got around him, but appeared to be flustered by the pressure and threw that ball sooner than he probably had to.
This will be a boot now of 37 yards. Kirkheide, 7 for 11. His longest is 39. It'll be a 38-yard kick out of Sherman's hold. And it is good. So Virginia ties it up. Kyle Kirkheide's 38-yard field goal with 2:09 makes it 3-all. Back after this word from your local station. A couple of field goals, all we have on the scoreboard with 2:05, actually 2:09 left in the first quarter. Virginia has just tied it up on Kyle Kirkheide's 38-yard kick. As we get set for the kick of Rafael Garcia, Dwayne Thomas, return man for Virginia Tech. They make their backs work. Thomas and Edwards and Edmonds and Raynell White all return kickoff. And Garcia will keep this one on the ground. It's picked up by Raynell White. Raynell White is hit once by Curtis Hicks and then squirts ahead to the 29-yard line. So it'll be a return of about 10 yards on the play. And that's where Virginia Tech will take over 1st and 10.
Again, most of this first quarter has disappeared for Maurice DeShazo as Virginia has dominated the clock. So in that regard, Virginia Tech is frustrated, but they're also pleased that despite that, they're still tied.
They've been opportunistic all season, Jack, with 4 blocked punts. And one of them turned into something good here today. 4 wideouts, split twins both sides. DeShazo's in pursuit. Throws to Sanders incomplete in front of the Virginia sideline at the 35-yard line. Getting a lot of pressure from Mike Frederick.
Got a flag on the play out near the 38-yard line. We may have offensive pass interference against Steve Sanders. That's what we do. Sanders pushed off, trying to get away from Greg McClellan along the near sidelines. Good pressure again by Mike Frederick. DeShazo decided to roll out to avoid Frederick's pressure, and he didn't get away from it.
So Sanders commits the pass interference. Virginia will take this penalty in hopes of making Virginia Tech a little more predictable offensively, pushing them deep, and then hoping to force the punt and get good field position. With the win in the second quarter. The wind's now starting to straighten out the flags in the end zone, and it's right in Virginia's face at Maurice DeShazo's back. Draw play goes to Joe Swarm, and Joe gets hit and gets out over the 15-yard line out to the 17. Randy Neal comes up and makes the tackle. Neal's had a bunch of them. There's Joe Swarm, and here's the play.
Well, there are a few what you'd have to label overachievers on this Virginia Tech football team. Joe Swarm would fit that category. He's a walk-on at one time in the program. Been an effective blocker in front of Thomas and Edwards.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 20. Ball at the 17 to DeShazo to pass. Looking downfield as a man complete, and that is Still, Brian Still. Out to the 41-yard line, a gain of 23 yards before Greg McClellan could catch up.
Great protection for DeShazo, and you can just see the confidence he has throwing the football. I can just take his patience. This is a deep bench route. It takes a long time to open up, and you can see the kind of space available underneath the deep safety and beyond the corner, McClellan.
Swarm and Thomas as setbacks for DeShazo on 1st and 10. Almost runs into Thomas that time as he rolls out. Directs traffic. Headed for Sanders, but there were 4 orange jerseys in the neighborhood, including Paul London, who's picked off 3, and Keith Lyle, who's picked off 5 this season for Virginia.
He tried to buy time and buy time and buy time, and finally threw it into coverage, but fortunately for Tech, no damage done. You can see the numbers on the year. They're as prolific a scoring team as there's ever been in Blacksburg. 7th in the country in scoring at 38 points a game.
47 touchdowns thus far this season. Handoff goes to Swarm, the fullback. Not much running room there out to the 43-yard line. Good penetration on the play by Matt McKeska, senior from Burke, Virginia.
Virginia had a lot of trouble last week with the option attack out of the flex bone of Clemson. That's not a prominent part of the Virginia Tech offense. And I think Virginia probably worked a lot harder on handling the outside action better. They've looked better at it so far here today.
Did a good job against it against North Carolina. 3rd and 8. Score time. DeShazo scrambling for his life. Frederick in pursuit, and he throws it away.
And DeShazo is down. Frederick and Neal hit him, and DeShazo is down on the far sideline.
Right in front of the Virginia Tech bench. His backup, by the way, is Jim Druckenmiller.
This would certainly change the profile of the Virginia Tech offense if DeShazo is not able to play for a period of time. When you roll to your left under pressure and try and throw it downfield, Steve, you really expose your midsection. And I would guess that DeShazo took a pretty good pop from Neal and Frederick.
Last 2 plays, he's tried to buy himself time to his offhand. Virginia Tech punting unit is on the field as DeShazo's on the sideline. The concern, because he's just barely on the field, so they'll keep play stopped while they tend to him here with 25 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play. There you see the swarm of people gathered around as we have timeout on the field. Virginia and Virginia Tech both tied up at 3 with 25 seconds to play.
Here's the end of the play as DeShazo was rolling, got rid of the ball, and Randy Neal just with a shove, and he must have fallen wrong as he hit the deck. He's up and around again, and hopefully okay for the Virginia Tech Hokies as they're in punt formation.
Robbie Coley is back there to do it in punt formation. Big rush on by Virginia, and he gets a line drive to Washington. Washington at the 20, and not much doing there. Making the stop on the tackle is number 61, Billy Conity, a 41-yard kick and 6 on the return. First Union presents around the ACC. It's a closing weekend of ACC football in many stadiums. Clemson and South Carolina, Maryland and Wake Forest, North Carolina State going at it with Florida State tonight. And that's the battle of the states. A big battle for Florida State if they want to maintain momentum to stay in second, and NC State to better their bowl situation. 1st and 10, Virginia had the ball most of the way this first quarter of action. Bernard Basham stops Jared Washington on the carry, and that'll just about do it for the first quarter as time runs out. Virginia has had the ball all but 6 plays this first quarter of play, but the scoreboard where it counts is even at 3-all here in Charlottesville. In Charlottesville, Virginia Tech and Virginia tied at 3-all as we head into the second quarter. Taking a look at our Lee Apparel first quarter stats, a lot of things in Virginia's favor right now.
Virginia Tech had it for only 8 plays and just 4 minutes of the first quarter. Virginia doing what they wanted to do in terms of clock domination, but only the 3 points to show for it, and the block punt cost them 3 points.
And they have the wind at their back here in the second quarter. Second down and 8. Play action for Simeon Willis. And he'll run with the football. And he'll be close to a first down. Let's get down to the sidelines with a word on Virginia Tech's quarterback and Mike Ogwood.
Maurice DeShazo is going to be okay, Steve. I don't know if any of you have ever had the breath knocked out of you, but it really is a tough feeling. You can't move for a few minutes. But he was just over on the bench a moment ago laughing with the trainers saying, hey, it's really nice to be able to breathe again. He's a little sore, but you're going to have to hit him a lot harder than that to stay out of this game, Steve.
In my case, that would be a lot of breath to lose.
I tell you, it is a really tough feeling. I mean, you get over there and you're going to go and you want to tell people you're right. From experience, I know it's like you're sitting up but nothing's happening, you know. It's like, come on, let me swallow, please.
It'd be a first in my household where I opened my mouth and nothing came out. He's got the first down, and Virginia now 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. They've kept the ball predominantly on the ground. A couple of passes to one to Demetrius Allen, the other to Larry Holmes, and one to Bobby Neely. 1st and 10. Play fake for Willis. Sells the fake well and has Holmes out there ahead of everyone. Yarborough with a step behind, but a flag on the play.
Going to get a holding call against Virginia. Last couple of weeks, Virginia has had the deep route open, but Willis has been able to hit it just once. That to Pete Allen last week against Clemson.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, spot of foul.
It's one of those spot of the foul penalties, which adds to your difficulties, and Simeon Willis is going to find himself first and a bunch. Ball all the way back to the 19-yard line. They have to get all the way to the Tech 44, so it's the Virginia 44, 1st and 25.
There's a handoff to Kevin Brooks, his first carry of the day, and there's not much room for him to run to the 20-yard line. Again, another flag down.
Motion.
So Virginia headed in reverse. And now it's Virginia Tech deciding they're going to decline it. Frank Beamer giving the signal from the sideline.
Illegal motion, offense, penalties refused, 2nd down.
That'll push him down closer to a decision to punt. So Virginia headed backwards. One of the mysteries, as receivers have fallen down with Monday and Jeffers with injuries, Tyrone Davis has not been as active as we had anticipated. 2nd down and about 23. He's in the slot to the bottom side. Willis goes instead to Kevin Brooks on the ground up over the 20. He's got a little bit of running room to the 23. Not much there, and Lawrence Lewis is one of many Virginia Tech tacklers.
To follow up your point about Tyrone Davis, who had such a fine season a year ago for Virginia, has been plagued with a bad thumb, and he has not been as effective since then. As you see some of the other scores, Michigan with the early lead on unbeaten number 5 Ohio State. There's the JP score line.
And kids, make sure you have your parents' permission before you start spending their money. Third down coming up, score tied at 3. Willis gives the pass fake. He was above or beyond the line of scrimmage, says Thomas Thamer. So that's going to be another penalty for Virginia. Their 5 plays, 3 penalties.
Illegal forward pass beyond line. We got 5 and loss of down.
Boy, this was a total breakdown on this sequence of plays. It's a loss of down, as you heard Tom Thamer tell the crowd and everybody else here.
Illegal forward pass against the offense. There will be a loss of down. Makes it 4th down.
Willis under a lot of pressure as Virginia Tech sent 2 of their 3 linebackers, and he had stepped beyond the line of scrimmage. That pass still would have left them about a dozen yards shy of the 1st down.
4th down and a bundle. Sanders is back to return the kick of Bryce, who's already had 1 block today. Virginia Tech setting up the return this time. It takes a Virginia bounce, and it's going to roll dead at the 32-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10, Virginia Tech at their own 32-yard line. A 44-yard kick by Will Bryce, who leads the ACC in punting. We're tied at 3-all. Welcome back to Charlottesville. A sun-splashed day, albeit a bit chilly. Virginia and Virginia Tech renewing their rivalry for the 75th time, tied at 3-all. Steve Martin, Jack Corrigan, Mike Hogwood here in Charlottesville. 1st and 10 at the 36 of Virginia Tech. Maurice DeShazo back under center, and here's Dwayne Thomas. Big hole for Thomas. Closes down quickly at the 45. Carl Smith is the man who got to him there, but it's a nice gain of 9 for Virginia Tech's first 1,000-yard rusher in about 6 years.
First time they went to the toss sweep this afternoon, and Thomas stretches the defense and then cuts back underneath. Watch Jamie Sharper here. Boom. Carl Smith there to finish it off.
2nd down and about 1. Handoff. No, it's a pitch on the option to Thomas. He tries to turn the corner, and it looks like he's going to be close to the 1st down. Carl Smith helped out. Percy Ellsworth also there. What a record year for them. Total offense, total points, touchdowns. And these are all single-season records set at Virginia Tech. And they are short of the 1st down, however. Didn't get enough yards on that play. Actually set back a yard. 3rd down and 2. 3-3 the score. Swarm and Thomas behind DeShazo. It's Thomas. And Thomas, 2nd effort, gets him the 1st down at the 48-yard line. McKeska on the tackle, but Thomas saw a hole and just kind of fell right into it.
Dwayne Thomas was the #1 rusher in the state of Florida in his senior year of high school at Fort Myers, Florida. Came into this ball game after a 163-yard effort a week ago against Syracuse.
1st and 10. Virginia Tech 2 yards shy of midfield.
Good job. He's got it wide. Can you stay on the move?
Sanders and Freeman all the wide outs. DeShazo scrambles out of the pocket, has to run. DeShazo shows some nifty ability into Virginia territory at the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 10.
Well, DeShazo was a high school All-American from Bassett High School in Stewart, Virginia. Last year had 12 touchdown tosses and 11 interceptions. This year, 22 and just 6 interceptions. And when you're efficient, you become more confident, and you learn to say, hey, all right, I'm not going to force this ball. I'll run and get what I can get. In that case, he got a 1st down.
the shotgun, the shovel ahead to Thomas. And Thomas gets inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line. Randy Neal on the tackle. It's a gain of 6. But Virginia Tech now, Jack, appears to be in that rhythm offensively.
Well, that's what Frank Beamer talked to us about yesterday. He said we are a tempo football team offensively. When we get our rhythm, we get our tempo, we're very effective. And you can sense that happening on this drive for the Hokies.
2nd and 4. On the long count. Hand off to Thomas. Thomas hit at the line of scrimmage and brought down. Big hit delivered on that side, and getting it is Mark Critchbaum. Critchbaum with the tackle. Thomas has 16 yards and 5 carries, but he didn't get much there. Got about a yard.
Well, Rick Lance, a defensive coordinator for Virginia, told us last week that he's felt like Critchbaum's had an all-conference year at defensive tackle. He's played that well.
3rd down and 3. Virginia Tech tied with Virginia. They're at the Virginia 35. The pitch to Thomas. Thomas has the 1st down and more. It'll take 6 Cavaliers to bring him down at the 26-yard line.
They go back to the play that really got the drive started, the toss sweep to the right side, and they're able to get around Mike Frederick and Tom Burns. See Frederick's diving attempt, good block by the tight end John Burke on Tom Burns, the outside linebacker. That's what got Thomas around the corner.
Well, he took on Joe Crocker at the corner too. 1st and 10. Hand off to Thomas again, and he is hit. Fumbles the football. DeShazo will pick it up. Back to the 28-yard line. Jamie Sharper made the hit.
Watch the left side of your screen. Maybe play for play the most productive man on that Virginia defensive line, the freshman out of Glen Allen, Virginia, with a major league stick on Thomas there. A break that DeShazo was in the neighborhood to fall on the loose ball.
87 tackles coming in. 2nd and 13. DeShazo to throw. Has a man Sanders open near the 1st down marker. And he's going to get it. There's a flag on the play.
A real late flag. And I think it might be unsportsmanlike against Virginia.
They're marking it good enough for the 1st down, and the discussion between the officials goes on.
See if we can see. Well, the ball is away. The penalty was thrown very late. Sanders sure looked like he got the 1st down, and a pop at the end by Keith Lyle.
So this looks like it's going to go against Virginia.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. 2 of them. They called an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in the backfield, and then 1 at the end of the play.
There's a personal foul against the defense. They're in a running play. That penalty will be half the distance. We have a dead ball. Personal foul against the defense. Both penalties will be enforced. 1st down.
Big ouch for Virginia as the ball now noses over the 5-yard line down to the 4 as the result of both penalties. The line to make was somewhere inside the 20. So both of them are marched off. 1st and goal at the 3 now for Virginia Tech.
We've talked, and you have seen on the graphic how productive they are down close.
Tommy Edwards is in. Here's Dwayne Thomas. Very close to it. Gets down to the 1. All squirted loose, but it's going to be blown dead. Frederick is laying on it, but it's going to be Virginia Tech football. So it's 2nd down and goal. Frank Beamer looking on, his team going to a bowl the first time since he took over as head coach back in 1987. 2nd and goal.
was also in motion. Not only was he stopped, he ran too quickly trying to get to the hole.
Carl Smith was on top of that pile.
One thing to get a running start. There's another thing to do it before the ball is snapped, and that's what Edwards was guilty of. And a great surge defensively up high by the Virginia goal line defense. Threw Edwards back. The penalty will move the ball back to about the 6-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and goal from there.
Great work by our cameraman. So there's the penalty marched off now. It's a motion penalty against Virginia Tech. Dwayne Thomas taking a step toward the line. I saw him take a step. I wondered if there was going to be a flag on it, and it's moved back out to the 5, the 6 actually. 3rd down and goal. 2nd down and goal. 2nd and goal from the 6. Thomas again. Touchdown, Virginia Tech.
That was impressive. Ran the toss sweep left, cut it back inside, and there was a big hole. Watch the left side of your screen. Another axe block, and an excellent block on the linebacker by Damian McMahon, number 54. That created the space. McMahon and Chris Berry did the crossing block to create the hole.
His 11th rushing touchdown of the year. Ryan Williams with a dead-on kick. Through the upright and good. And Virginia Tech now has the 10-3 lead thanks to Dwayne Thomas's 11th rushing touchdown, a 6-yard run. There's 28 yards rushing thus far this afternoon, and the Hokies lead the Cavaliers by 7.
Watch the left side of the Tech offensive line. Tight end John Burke, tackle Chris Berry, and guard Damian McMahon, with Joe Swarm, the fullback, leading up through it as well. And Mr. Thomas, not bad either. He wasn't going to be denied. He got popped by Randy Neal on the 1, but Thomas surged into the end zone with another touchdown on the ground for the sophomore, who's had a phenomenal season.
28 yards in that drive, including the last 6 that meant the most. Jared Washington under Ryan Williams took into the wind at the 15, and he is brought down by Will Ferrell and Mike Williams at the 26-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Virginia right there. The drive helped by the running of Dwayne Thomas, but also the big pass play to Sanders, plus the 2 personal fouls marched off that put Virginia Tech inside the 5-yard line. It took them 4:36 to run the scoring drive. 10-3.
Excuse me, Steve. After a couple of efficient drives, a very ineffective drive last possession for Virginia.
Healy sets up. It's a tight end on the right side. Davis in motion. Play action for Willis. Big rush is on. Pass complete to Neely, but he didn't have possession. He had the 1st down, but a big pop delivered by Tony Banks, a true freshman out of Newport News, Virginia.
Antonio Banks breaking on the ball smartly, and Bobby Neely coughed it up. Very close to being a legal catch. Good incomplete call made there. There's another example of the absence of the big players. Aaron Monday has had a fine year at tight end. Neely's going to be a good one, but he doesn't have the experience.
Willis has missed on 4 straight now. 2nd down and 10. Out of the shotgun. Looks down low for Davis. And threw it before he broke. Jones covering on the play. That's 5 straight incompleted passes and brings up 3rd down.
Well, Dwayne Knight, the outside linebacker, came through almost untouched on a blitz from the outside. So Willis had to get rid of it before Davis got a good look at the ball. You know, receiver on a bench cut turns his head as quickly as he can, but sometimes not quickly enough.
3rd down and 10. Virginia trailing 10-3. Willis, receivers covered. He drops the football. Picked up by Holland. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. sophomore from Chesapeake, Virginia.
Well, they sent 8 people here. Simeon Willis looking for someplace to go. Has the ball stripped on the tackle by Cornell Brown, and Jeff Holland picks it up, and what a thrill for a defensive lineman to take it into the end zone.
Ryan Williams to kick the point after. Tech with their second touchdown in 26 seconds. They've got the important point after. An 8-yard run with a fumble by Holland, and Virginia Tech leads 17-3 over the Virginia Cavaliers with 7:16 left to go in the first half. Football is brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealers. I love what you do for me, Toyota. And by Siemens for leading-edge technologies in electronic and electrical engineering. Depend on Siemens precision thinking. Back at Charlottesville, Virginia, Steve Martin, Jack Corrigan, and Mike Hogwood at Scott Stadium, and Virginia Tech has put their defense to work. Jeff Holland scores the touchdown on the fumble recovery after Simeon Willis was sacked and lost control of the football. The kick by Ryan Williams will go out of the end zone, and it'll be taken at the 20 by Virginia. The momentum all in the Hokies' direction here in the first half.
Well, Williams had been dropping a lot of kickoffs high and short, so Virginia moved up. And that time the kick sailed over their head into the end zone. Look at that graphic. The ineffectiveness the last 4 weeks for Virginia in terms of the turnovers. They are now just a +2 on the season in the turnover category.
First and 10. 8 of those 14 are interceptions. Just trying to get something going is Charles Way up over the 20 down to the 22-yard line.
Well, not only that the emotional surge is in white right now, but the other problem for Virginia, they're just not moving the ball through the air, and when you're down 2 touchdowns, you got to start throwing the ball.
Yes, you do. Let's go to the sidelines and Mike Hogwood.
And another thing that's happened for Virginia is this partisan Cavalier crowd really into it at the start of this game has been taken right out of this contest by the Virginia Tech defense. Virginia really needs a big play to get the crowd back into it.
Second down and 8. Willis rolling. Has to get rid of it in a hurry along the Virginia sidelines. It's ruled incomplete as Holmes made the grab. But what pressure coming on from J.C. Price, who already has 2 sacks today.
Well, they are sending a lot of people, doing a lot of gaming up front. Cornell Brown forced him out of the pocket. You see that Ken Brown was stunning on the play. Holmes clearly out of bounds as he tried to make that catch in front of Torian Gray, and they keep getting themselves into 2nd and long and 3rd and long. First down inefficiency will kill you.
6 straight incompleted passes by Simeon Willis. 3rd and 8, and he trails 17-3. Big rush on for Virginia Tech. The step-up throw knocked out of Demetrius Allen's hands by Jones. That's Scott Jones from Bristol, Virginia, the 5th-year senior.
Now Pete Allen doing a little bit of begging there. That's a ball that has to be caught. Run a curl route to get the first down. You're open. Ball is delivered there. He doesn't come up with it, and Virginia goes 3 and out. The momentum just getting more and more maroon-like. The predominant color for the Hokies, of course.
There's Price with the kick. Sanders calls for the fair catch. Has it back at his own 39-yard line. The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. This broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Atlantic Coast Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. 17-3, Virginia Tech in the lead. A blocked punt set up 1 field goal. A fumble on a sack set up a return that resulted in another touchdown. And a nice-looking drive, the 3rd. This is Edmonds, Brian Edmonds, redshirt freshman fullback from Blackstone, Virginia, on the first carry up to the 40-yard line.
Well, we talked to Mike Hogwood about Virginia looking for a big play to get the crowd back into it. they really need to do it on the defensive side right now, and that's not likely to happen against this Virginia Tech team. They don't throw many interceptions. They don't commit many turnovers. They're +8 coming into this game.
Split twins both sides. Maurice DeShazo to throw. Has a man open. That is Antonio Freeman. And Freeman is complete to the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 8. He's going to be very close to the first down. His first catch of the afternoon. He's only caught, what, 4 balls away from home.
Missed last week's game with an ankle sprain. Got the first down. Caught the Virginia secondary just flying back, and just a little stop-up route. Freeman wide open.
First and 10 at the 49. DeShazo rolling. Has a man open. That's Cornell White. Cornelius White, actually. From Penadel, Pennsylvania, redshirt freshman. And it looks like right now, Jack, that DeShazo is in that rhythm, and Virginia Tech senses they've got a team reeling.
And they've gone to the no huddle because they've got a team starting to feel powerless.
Second down and 2. DeShazo throws one out complete to White once more. Carl Smith makes the initial hit. It's a gain of about 3.
Now he's just sitting back there and picking his spots and just riddling Virginia right now. It's a helpless feeling for a defense when a team has momentum and they go to the no huddle.
DeShazo working almost exclusively out of the shotgun. He's got White and Sanders topside, Freeman and Still to the bottom side. Here's the draw play. But right now White, and White is up to about the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 6 for Renault White. Junior out of Brooklyn, New York. And again, Virginia Tech, no huddle. Second and 4.
4 wide receivers reduces the number of people inside the box, and you run the draw play. Very effective.
DeShazo to throw again. Scrambling as McKeska chases him out of bounds. Chases him out at the 35, and we have a flag down in the Virginia Tech secondary. Or rather in the Virginia Tech backfield.
And you can see the holding call. They got good upfield penetration that time from Matt McKeska. Watch the top left side of your screen. Oh, it's Mike Frederick who is being grabbed on the play by Chris Berry, and that costs Virginia Tech. And remember, it's from the spot of the foul, and that was well back in the pokey backfield, so the ball comes all the way back to the Virginia 49-yard line.
So it makes the resultant loss, Jack, actually 18 yards on the play.
To the 2nd and 5 and 2nd and 23. 2nd and 8 to 2nd and 23.
DeShazo out of the shotgun. Little flare to White, complete. Renault White runs into Greg McClellan at the 47-yard line of Virginia. It's a 2-yard gain on the play. 4:26, a clock moving. Virginia Tech not wasting any time, but at the same time, they're seeing their drive stall a bit here. You can see what they want to do. They want to deliver a knockout punch that will send Virginia reeling at the end of the first half. 3rd and 21, though, facing them here, leading 17-3. DeShazo at work. He's got Freeman, but overthrew him. Keith Lyle covering on the play. So the punt unit is on.
You know, a lot of times when a team goes into the wind, you think you can't throw deep, or when you call a deep ball, a quarterback puts a little extra on it, and either the wind stops down or the kid's got more strength than he realizes. I mean, he overshot Freeman by about 10 yards.
Found a little still air there. And Robbie Colley is in to kick it away. Junior out of Tazewell, Virginia. Colley's first punt was 41 yards. Washington calls for the fair catch at the 14-yard line. That never land there. 33-yard kick. Well, let's take a look at our schools this afternoon. With 3:48 left to go here in the first half, a view of Virginia and Virginia Tech. 48 left to go in the first half. Our Exxon ACC game of the week. Virginia stepping out of conference and finding the going kind of rough here, trailing 17-3. First and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Simeon Willis at the controls. Jared Washington trying to get some running room and is stopped shy of the 17-yard line. George Del Rico led the charge on the tackle.
My quest to make that first down efficiency a more prominent stat in football is very evident in this game. The last 9 first down plays for Virginia, they are averaging less than 3 yards. When that happens, you're in trouble. Michigan with a big upset in the making at Ann Arbor.
Ohio State has to win or tie to get the Rose Bowl berth. They're doing neither right now. And Virginia is not moving anywhere. Staying on the ground. Washington again finds the going rough. They'll mark his forward progress to the 20-yard line where Waverly Jackson directed the hit.
Well, this is so much like a week ago at Clemson, where Virginia had some early success running the ball, but their inability to be consistent throwing the football had Clemson last week, and now Virginia Tech this week loading up on the line of scrimmage. Simeon Willis and his wide receiver core have to get it together if Virginia's going to rally.
Out of the shotgun. Willis looking downfield. He's got Holmes complete. Biggest play for Virginia in this second quarter, out to the 43-yard line. A 24-yard gain.
Simeon Willis had misfired on his last 8 attempts. And the deep corner route to Larry Holmes, he got good protection that time from his offensive line. And as Steve said, that was a huge catch.
Holmes has 3 of them this afternoon for 58 yards. First and 10, Virginia. The option goes to Washington. And Washington goes for yardage. Washington falls ahead to the 32-yard line. 25 yards on the game.
Isn't it amazing what one completion can do to your confidence? And for the first time, they run the dive option. Good cutback by Jared Washington. Had he not been knocked a little bit off balance by one of his teammates, he might have taken it even further.
Jared Washington. Some of our stations are experiencing some audio problems. We are aware of them and we are working on them. We apologize. On first down, Willis up in the pocket. Bernard Basham is there to make sure that the progress is stopped, along with Cornell Brown.
You don't find many defensive linemen wearing single-digit numbers, but Bernard Basham, a defensive tackle at 265 pounds, does wear the number 8. And just like we had the gentleman from Clemson.
Fox 7 kicks in his career at Virginia Tech. There's the pass that is complete out to Demetrius Pete Allen inside the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. Big gain on the play of 4. Clock moving now. Minute 14 left. Virginia has all of their timeouts left, and they'll take one here. So Virginia will call for time.
Pete Allen had a squared up Torian Gray, and when you try and make lateral fakes, watch Pete Allen here. It's all right to make the left-right fakes, but you've got to get up the field as you're doing it. He did all that dancing, and Gray said, when you're done, I'm going to stuff you. And he did. And he paid for it, too, as Allen gets some attention from Dr. McHugh on the Virginia sidelines.
Pete Allen, the junior from Norfolk, Virginia. Our Exxon ACC game of the week with 1:11 left to go here in the first half. Virginia Tech getting the early field goal. Virginia tied them, but then 2 unanswered touchdowns. One by Dwayne Thomas, the other by Jeff Holland, have the Hokies up here at halftime. The best of the ACC coming your way at halftime. Our one for the books is a salute to this past ACC season. Scores of other games, highlights of this game, and our player of the week, all with Mike Hogwood, the Candlepin King, at halftime.
You got to remember, there's a lot of people that you got your New England roots there. A lot of people down here don't know what candlepins are.
Those are the ones, those are the little balls.
The skinny bowling pins.
That's right. There's a little flare, the little cut inside, the slant to Holmes. He's gone his way. Touchdown, Virginia.
Great call by Tom O'Brien, the offensive coordinator of Virginia. Virginia Tech blitz. They ran the full screen, and Jim Reed, sliding to the outside, provided the space. Watch the right side of your screen. Watch for number 74. Right there to make the cutback. And Larry Holmes, did they miss this guy? You bet they did.
Nice little slant route. Kyle Kirkheide comes in for the all-important point after. Virginia strikes quickly. Kick is up, and it is good. So Virginia is back. An 86-yard drive with a wind at their back. Big catches by Larry Holmes, including the touchdown catch. And the Virginia Cavaliers are back on the scoreboard, trailing here by only 7, 17-10.
Well, as much as a quarterback wants to distribute the wealth to all his receivers, there is little doubt, knowing that from my own experience, that quarterbacks develop a certain confidence in particular players. And it's obvious that Patrick Jeffers and Larry Holmes were the wide guys that Willis had gotten most comfortable with this year. This was just a great play call in the situation. And when Holmes slipped the tackle try of Cornell Brown, he had nothing but open space in front of him. He has caught over 100 yards in receptions on the day, and that has made a significant difference in Simeon Willis's productivity.
Willis missed his 8 passes in a stretch and was 3 for 3 that drive, 55 yards. 2 of the passes, of course, went into the hands of Larry Holmes, including the touchdown. And Virginia now has crawled to within 7.
But keep in mind how explosive this Virginia Tech team can be. They still have 63 seconds remaining here to try and increase their lead again.
Garcia to kick. It's deep, and it'll drive Edwards back into the end zone, and he'll not come out. 1st and 10, Virginia Tech at their own 20-yard line. The Hokies have all of their timeouts left, leading 17-10.
And on that last touchdown drive by the Hokies, when they went up by the 14-3 count, a good job of throwing the underneath balls by DeShazo. And with the 3 timeouts and a little more than a minute, he can continue to do that if he wants to.
Sanders and White are split wide to the top. Still and Freeman to the bottom. He's looking bottom now to Still, complete at the 24. And Joe Crocker leads him out of bounds at the 27-yard line, a gain of 7.
Virginia, guarding against the home run ball, will have to allow those little square outs till at least midfield. And that really plays into the 2-minute offensive productivity of Virginia Tech.
DeShazo 9 of 12 for 79. Pass is complete to Dwayne Thomas. And Thomas is taken on in the corner by Tom Burns, the inside linebacker, National Scholar athlete, nuclear engineering student from Clinton, Maryland.
DeShazo fired that ball right through the hands of Mark Krischbaum to get it to Thomas.
Got the first down, Jack. That stopped the clock, so they reset the chains with 48 seconds left. Virginia Tech still has yet to take any of their timeouts. DeShazo sacked by McKeska, Krischbaum, and Frederick, who gives the home run sign. That stops the clock with 38 seconds left. And now Virginia Tech will call timeout.
That was just an overwhelming job. See the big loop that time as Virginia going with some stunts, but it was Frederick pouring through on the outside. Watch the big loop. Changes the blocking schemes, and a lot of times things break down when that happens. Chris Malone ended up one-on-one against Mike Frederick and came out the loser that time as DeShazo is sacked by Frederick. But they took Ryan Keel and Matt McKeska, and they looked like they were going to the opposite ends of Scott Stadium to get to the quarterback.
Maurice DeShazo talking things over with Frank Beamer and the assistant head coach, Billy Height, who is also the running backs coach at Virginia Tech. DeShazo has had a pretty good afternoon. Frederick has been involved in a sack in each of the last 8 games for Virginia. George Welch looks on. His offense starting to produce now. His defense has just produced a sack. And Virginia Tech's looking at 2nd down and 19 at their own 24 with 38 seconds left. DeShazo, pursued by Critchbaum, throws a duck that's nearly picked off by Tom Burns. Burns nearly had his 2nd pick of the season.
The safety valve for DeShazo was to throw a little screen pass to Dwayne Thomas, and Virginia had it well covered. First really bad ball that Maurice has thrown today, and he was lucky that Burns couldn't hang on to that ball when he hit the turf.
Stops the clock with 29 seconds left. 3rd and 19, 17-10 Virginia Tech. The Hokies have the football. Here's the pitch to Thomas, and Thomas is sandwiched.
And Virginia will take the timeout because with the punt into the wind, they might have a chance to do something with 23 seconds left.
So 1 timeout remaining for Virginia. Making the tackle, Dwayne Ashman, who's backing up Ryan Keel at that tackle spot. And the momentum now swinging toward Virginia. And they'd like to tack one on here to tie it up. They're hoping field position will put them in a spot to do just that as Robbie Colley comes out on the field on 4th and 16 for his 3rd punt of the afternoon. Jarrett Washington back in punt formation.
Virginia Tech will get the ball to start the 2nd half. That's why Virginia really wants to give it one more shot here in the closing seconds.
Colley getting set to kick it away. The wind has gone down slightly here, but it's still prevalent. Now it starts to pick up again. Picked up around mid-morning today. It's about 15 miles an hour. Virginia looking to rush the kicker hard. Colley gets off a nice one, and Washington will down it at the 38-yard line. A 35-yard kick under extreme pressure by Robbie Colley. Jamie Sharper all over the kicker, but he didn't knock him down. So Virginia has 18 seconds, 61 yards of real estate in front of them, and 1 timeout in their arsenal.
And with that wind at their back, Kirkaity's range in terms of a field goal can be extended.
Willis is hit as he went forward. Ball falls flat. It's going to be Virginia ball. Reed pounced on it. J.C. Price, who has 2 sacks today, got in there and delivered the hit.
That was a break for Virginia that ball was covered by a Cavalier. Price coming from the backside just as Willis started to get his momentum going to release the football, and the scramble knocked some more time off the clock. By the time the clock was stopped, there was just 5 seconds left, so it's air it out time. Hope you get a lucky bounce or draw a defensive penalty to give yourself one more play. With 5 seconds, you don't even have enough time to throw the ball far enough downfield to try a long field goal. You have to throw it for the end zone.
2nd down and 16, a ball at the 33. Tyrone Davis and Pete Allen are into the ball game now. Virginia has exhausted their final timeout. Allen to the top side. Inside his shoulders, Bobby Neely. Davis to the bottom side. 5 seconds remaining for Simeon Willis. Back to throw. He wants Davis. And Jones is with him step for step. And so ends the first half of play. The first half is over with promises of an exciting second half to come. The Virginia Tech Hokies lead it 17-10, but Virginia seems to have recaptured some of the momentum in the latter stages of the second quarter after the Hokies got on top 17-3. Let's get down to the sidelines where Mike Hogwood.
Well, Frank, you got on the board there first. You had a chance maybe to knock them out in the first half, but this is quite a game.
Well, it is. We got a penalty when we were going right down the field, a holding call, and that was a long one. Put us back, and then when they punted, they had a couple of nice plays. Give them credit. They did a good job of hitting a couple of good plays on us.
Your running game really seems to be going well in the first half.
Well, it's going okay. I think we got to pick it up on all levels, though. This game's a long ways from being over.
Anything different we might look for in the second half from Virginia Tech?
We're going to go here and talk about it, but I think we're okay. We just got to execute well here in the second half. That's all.
Thanks. We'll let you get to the locker room. That's Frank Beamer. Virginia Tech leads Virginia 17-10. We're at halftime in Charlottesville. We'll be back with our halftime activities in just a moment.
Virginia trying to engineer a comeback. They're only 7 back here at halftime. Let's go to the sidelines and find Mike Hogwood, who's talking with Virginia coach George Welch.
We're with George Welch now, and Coach, you got that touchdown late in the half. That has to give you some momentum.
Well, I hope, but the momentum's been back and forth. We had it in the first quarter. They had it, and then maybe we got it back. I don't know. I think we have to pass protect better, and that would help a lot.
Is your offensive line, is that where you're looking for better play from?
Well, you know, we're pretty decimated in the offensive line. We don't have Dixon today, and we've had a couple other guys hurt, so it's been a problem for us.
All right, thanks a lot. George Welch.
There's Simeon Willis, 5 out of 14. He missed 8 straight and then connected on his last 3. The last one being a 28-yard touchdown run or pass to Larry Holmes. And George Welch feels that better protection will give Willis more time. And right now, Virginia Tech will get the football back. That's Edwards. Touchdown, Tommy Edwards is back in the end zone to get the kickoff offering of Rafael Garcia. Means Virginia Tech will have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter. Edwards will not come out. He wanted to. And Brian Edmonds went back and said, don't you dare. Don't even think about it.
He got real close, and Edwards made as good a tackle as he makes when he's on kickoff coverage. He said, no way are you coming out of the end zone.
Think about it, he said. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. So Maurice DeShazo comes back out. Modest numbers, but effective numbers. He kept them moving when he had to. He hasn't had to throw deep. Virginia Tech really been looking for that offensive rhythm, and they found it on at least 2 drives today. One of them a touchdown drive. And off to Dwayne Thomas. Thomas gets up over the 20-yard line. Important series here, Jack, for the Virginia defense.
Well, the Virginia defense seemed to get itself together after the holding call stalled a Virginia Tech drive. The offense went down, scored the touchdown, then they came back and put good pressure on DeShazo, and he did not have much going for him on the last possession for Virginia Tech. He's facing 2nd and long here.
2nd and 9 to be exact. Play fake to Joe Swarm, but it goes to DeShazo instead. And McKeska is there with Mike Frederick. And also in on the tackle, Ryan Keel.
Left side of your screen, Matt McKeska, excuse me, just crashing right down from his defensive end, almost like he was in a slant, or just the read he made after the play fake was to stop the quarterback, and he certainly did.
So it's 3rd and 11 now for Virginia Tech. And the Virginia fans are starting to get into it. 17-10 Hokies. DeShazo to throw, complete to Thomas. Thomas brought down at the 26. Gain of 7, but not enough for the first down. Jamie Sharper, one of those Cavs in on the tackle.
Well, a coach's favorite description, making a play in space in the open field. They get it to Thomas. Can he make the play, or will Jamie Sharper make the play? Thomas wasn't quite in balance as he turned to try and make a move. Sharper quickly in to stop him shy of the first down.
Robbie Colley for his 4th punt. Jared Washington looking to give Virginia good field position. Kicking into the wind, he gets a good one off. Flag down. Flag on the play. The 25-yard line. Here's Washington. And Washington comes out over the 35-yard line. It's a 48-yard kick, an 11-yard return. The tackle by Andy Miller, but There's a flag. Running into the kicker, not roughing the kicker, and I think it might be Jamie Sharper at the end of the play knocked out the support leg of Robbie Colley, and that's a 5-yard penalty. But Virginia Tech only needed 4 to get the first down. A huge mistake by the Virginia special teams.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker against the defense.
Wow, he called it a 15-yarder, and that's why George Welsh was even more upset. And that means the defense, which played very, very well on those first 3 downs, has to take the field again. This time further upfield at the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 for Virginia Tech. 65 yards in penalties, and that one will hurt. DeShazo will run all white, and he is run out by McClellan and Randy Neal at the 44-yard line, a gain of 2. Mike Frederick didn't make the tackle, but he made White belly so far back into the backfield that by the time he turned the corner, he ended up actually getting only about 1 yard, Steve, because they say his foot touched on the 43-yard line. So Frederick, even though he doesn't get credit for the play, was a big factor. Virginia defense still stout on 2nd and 9. Men in the box for the Cavaliers. The option play, DeShazo, and Paul London made the play at the 48-yard line. DeShazo would be still going if London didn't get on the scene. Well, also got a little help from John Burke as tight end. And nobody there on the quarterback this time, and Burke says, "Here, let me hold you up, kid." Tell you what, if he did that a little bit more obviously, he could have had a penalty called against him. But that was just inadvertent contact. 3rd down and 3. Big play for the Virginia defense. Score 17-10 Virginia Tech. DeShazo, the pass, batted away by McKeska. Matt McKeska rejects DeShazo's pass, and the defense holds once more. Playing his final game at Scott Stadium, he was on screen patrol, and McKeska got a hand up to deny the pass to Rennell White. They'll force the punt again, and you can bet they said lay off the punter. Colley back to do it all over again. Washington back at his own 15. Colley does a pretty good job protecting into the wind. Washington on the run. Washington trying to make something happen, gets it up to the 25-yard line. So the last punt he returned to the 35-yard line. The roughing penalty actually in essence cost them only about 10 yards in field position after the 36-yard offering from Robbie Colley. It's 17-10, Virginia Tech in the lead. Back at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia, Steve Martin, Jack Corrigan, and Mike Hogwood for our Exxon ACC Game of the Week. Virginia Tech leading Virginia by 7. We're in the 3rd. Virginia now starting at its own 26-yard line. Their average starting position for their drives have been their own 23. Simeon Willis on 1st down. Simeon Willis with good protection out front by Washington gets out ahead over the 30-yard line to the 33. Let's head to the sidelines and a possible development going on the Virginia Tech side with Mike Hogwood.
Steve, Dwayne Thomas didn't play most of that last series and was just taken to the locker room. He has very sore ribs, has some trouble catching his breath. They're going to tape it up and put a flak jacket on him. Hope he can come back and play, but the trainer said it really looks doubtful at this point.
Well, they've got some depth back there. Thomas spelled by Tommy Edwards and Rennell White. 2nd down and 3. Virginia, they're on 32. Charles Way has been kind of quiet today. He gets pulled back. Cornell Brown, George Del Rico, and Waverly Jackson.
I was going to say, Steve, I've been very impressed with the redshirt freshman Waverly Jackson. He's a 290-pounder out of South Hill, Virginia. He's got pretty good speed for being a guy that big, and he's done a great job of really clogging the action right up the middle. Charles Way's not been effective because they've not been able to get a push against Jackson over the football.
Bill Almation, the defensive coordinator, say he's going to be a big one. 3rd down and 2 for Virginia, trailing by 7. Willis goes upside and makes the mistake there because he runs into Cornell Brown. The true freshman sacks him right there at the 35-yard line. It's not a sack, actually, but tackles him shy of the first down. It's going to be 4th and 1, and Virginia has to send the punt unit on.
Willis just made a mistake in judgment that time, and where he wanted to run, he needed to stay outside for his best chance. When he cut it back in, he was done.
Will Price to punt it away. Steve Sanders in to kick. Virginia Tech got close to that one. Sanders with a fair catch at his own 33-yard line. Under lots of pressure, a 34-yard kick. And that's where Virginia Tech will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 32 with 10:05 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Coached 4th in the Big East this season. They have a chance to finish 1st in the state of Virginia if they can hold on through this and another quarter of football. But a lot of time left. 10:05 left to go in the 3rd quarter. 17 to 10. Virginia Tech in the lead. They have the ball at their own 32. 1st and 10. Play fake by DeShazo. Going upstairs. Has a man covered, twice covered as a matter of fact, going for Still. And he was covered by Keith Lyle and McClellan. Mike Frederick putting the heat on Maurice DeShazo.
Got a little play action and maybe try and go deep, but Virginia had excellent coverage downfield. No place for DeShazo to go. And this Virginia Tech offense, it seems like, Steve, since that holding penalty that they got midway through the 2nd quarter has lost its rhythm.
2nd down, 10. Here's the option. DeShazo to Edwards. And Edwards is driven out of bounds by Percy Ellsworth, sophomore from Druryville, Virginia. Gain on the play out to the 38-yard line. Mark him for 5. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5. That holding call, when strangely enough, when Virginia Tech was up 17 to 3, got the ball back after a 3-down and out series by Virginia, had the ball down inside the 35-yard line and then backed up by penalties. That holding call, the biggest of them all. DeShazo drops the football. Comes up with it, luckily, back at his own 27. Frederick and Kirschbaum and Keel all on the play.
Again, the excellent stunting on the defensive front line creates a one-on-one situation for Mike Frederick, and he just backed up Brian Edmonds, the fullback, right into DeShazo. Boy, it's been an impressive Virginia surge defensively, but they're still down 7.
2nd sack of the day. Virginia going after the kick. Washington will get good field position at the 39-yard line. A 33-yard kick. Well, Liz and Buddy Thompson of Easley, South Carolina, get ready. You're going to spend New Year's Eve at the Outback Steakhouse Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida. You are the winners of the Outback Gator Bowl Getaway that we've been talking about all season. They won a trip for 2, including game tickets, hotel and airfare, and a drawing that was held November 16th. Our congratulations to Buddy and Liz Thompson and all who entered.
And Liz and Buddy, if you can't go, give Steve or me a call. We'll be happy to use those tickets.
I know a lot of people down in Jacksonville will have a good time. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Simeon Willis airing it out. Looking for Holmes. One-on-one coverage with William Yarborough. A sophomore out of Newport News, Virginia. Holmes has already got a touchdown catch in his resume today. A 28-yarder at the end of the 1st half.
Wind may be blowing as briskly now as it has all day. Flags fully extended off the standards. In fact, down lower, those are the high flags on the top of the stadium. And look at the flagpole down lower in the stadium. It's blowing even harder than the ones up top.
The gale has freshened. Here is Washington on 2nd down out over the 45-yard line. Stopped on the play by George Del Rico and Scott Jones. That's his 13th carry of 82 yards. There's the wind you talked about, Jack, that is at a slight angle, but basically at the back of the Virginia Cavaliers as they move downfield.
Excuse me, I'm still writing this down. The gale has freshened. Boy, give me those New England lines. You know, I'm impressed.
He's a wordsmith. What can he say? 3rd down and 5. Virginia trailing by a touchdown. The flared away.
That's a fumble.
It goes out of bounds, and it's marked as such at the 31, 32-yard line. Loss on the play of 13 yards.
Ball was thrown back. That makes it a lateral, and Charles Way should be very happy that that ball bounced out of bounds, because it would have been a live football had it stayed in play. Good pressure from Cornell Brown, number 58. And Way never really saw that. I don't know if he was looking into the sun as well.
I thought he was. Bryce is back now to punt. Sanders to return it. Bryce gets a wind-aided beauty to the 15-yard line. Sanders upended by Bobby Neely at the 26. So it's a return of 9 yards on the 50-yard kick by Will Bryce.
Sanders making the tough catch, backing up, and then got the quick step up and nearly broke this one, but Bobby Neely making the good hit when Sanders tried to 360 by him. Banging the punts back and forth. You keep saying here that somebody's going to make a big mistake, and that's going to be the turning point of the ball game.
Virginia Tech now with 8:12 left to go in the third at their own 29-yard line. DeShazo. A little pass. It's a ground ball knuckler that Sanders can't catch up with. Now, keep in mind that DeShazo is minus one weapon, and that one weapon is Dwayne Thomas, who is still not returned to this game. 8:05 left to go in the third. Virginia Tech 17-10 over Virginia here at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville. Elsewhere around the country, Florida whacking Vanderbilt. South Carolina looking to pull the upset, but it's early. And BC with a first quarter field goal against the Fighting Irish. Our score 17-10 Virginia Tech. Hokies have the football on 2nd and 10. Pass is complete to Antonio Freeman, his second catch of the day, out to the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 15.
A big first down completion for Virginia Tech, but unfortunate that Freeman can't keep his feet because the defender on the play, Greg McClellan, fell down. And if Freeman stays on his feet, he probably goes for another 10 yards.
Second reception of the day for Freeman, which is significant because coming into this game, he'd only caught 4 balls on the road. 1st and 10. Pitch fake by DeShazo, and he's headed upstairs for Freeman again with Lyle step for step and cover. Freeman, who holds the single season record at Virginia Tech and needs 2 touchdowns to set a new career touchdown mark.
Well, he averaged over 22 yards a catch last year and is similar to that this season, but excellent coverage downfield by senior safety Keith Lyle.
So it'll be 2nd down. Virginia Tech at their own 44-yard line. DeShazo will maybe run into Frederick. That takes out 2 guys. To White, almost intercepted by Greg McClellan. What a play by McClellan.
If there's been a frustration this year for Rick Lance with his defense, which by and large has been an effective one for Virginia, he says we've got so many pass breakups and not enough interceptions. We get around the football, we just can't catch it. McClellan had it bang off the shoulder pads, but a good recovery on a broken play.
The inside linebackers, Jack, to amplify your point, have 10 PBUs, as we call it. 3rd down and 10. Virginia Tech up by 7, but in danger of seeing their drive stall. DeShazo. It is incomplete, intended for White. Cornelius White can't get to it. Virginia's defense holds once more.
Which defense is going to falter first, if at all, becoming the story here in the second half.
DeShazo has missed 6 of his last 7 as Robbie Colley comes on, and he's become a more frequent performer in this game. Washington back to get it. Wind at his face. Colley lifts a nice one. Washington to return. Everybody just kind of stood and watched. And Washington breaks it out to the 48-yard line. strange. Virginia Tech thought for a moment he'd call for a fair catch.
Well, when you get a high short kick like that, that's what you assume. And you can see right there, number 43, Larry Green, thought that's what was going to happen. Some good blocks upfield, and Cornelius White just able to trip him up, or he might have gone into Tech territory.
Net punt yardage, 8 yards after the 37. Back in Charlottesville, Virginia Tech leading Virginia 17-10. 7:14 left to go in the third, and a new quarterback set to take the field for the Virginia Cavaliers. Mike Groh, you see his line this season in relief of Simeon Willis. Willis, who has struggled thus far this afternoon. Virginia experiencing their best field position of the afternoon, and Mike Groh sent in to take advantage of it. Handoff goes to Jared Washington, and Washington carves up big yardage. Washington, one man to beat. Down to the 12-yard line, it's Dwayne Knight who tripped him up with his shoestring from behind.
Tyrone Davis with an excellent block to the outside. And then running downfield, he was escorted by John Slocum, who tried to get in front of Dwayne Knight, didn't want to clip him. And Knight, with great effort, able to stop the touchdown. Great balance by Jared Washington.
40 yards on the carry by Washington. Handoff to Washington again, left side, and he's brought down by Ken Brown as he gets to the 10-yard line. You know, Jack, Virginia had a hint that that would work. They tried to play like that similar at the end of the first half that actually set up Holmes' touchdown.
Washington well over 100 yards on the day. Virginia dominating statistically, but still trailing on the scoreboard. Mike Groh and Simeon Willis were dead even going into the final week of preseason before Willis won the job. They have a lot of confidence in Mike Groh.
Second down and about 7. They're at the 9-yard line of Virginia Tech. Virginia moving the football. The draw play goes to Washington again, who has carried it all on this drive, and he's close to the 5. As they unpile down there, it's Waverly Jackson, first man at the point of attack, along with Knight. Frank Beamer now, the concern showing here as he sees his team losing the momentum. George Welch knows how important it is for his team to punch one in and tie it here.
Yeah, he wants to tie it. He doesn't want to settle for the field goal and still be down 4.
Third down, 3. Ball at the 5. Virginia trailing by 7, but knocking on the door. Way in Washington, the setbacks. Groh pitches to Washington. Virginia Tech had it pretty well read. Scott Jones led the way at the point of attack. Ken Brown out there as well. It's a loss back to the 7.
Dwayne Knight on the line of scrimmage was screaming and signaling to his teammates to come to the Virginia left side because that's where they were going. And Knight right there, number 20, is involved in the play along with Scott Jones.
Field goal unit was sent on, then chased, but an unsportsmanlike conduct called against Virginia Tech.
Wow.
Wow. What a big penalty, because it's going to give Virginia first down.
Well, it's a dead ball automatic first down call, and now Virginia will have it first and goal.
Kyle Kirkcaldy was out there on the field.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike, taunting. Defense, fourth down, fourth down.
It's not an, I apologize, it is not an automatic first down. Now a decision time for Virginia because it'll be 4th and about a yard or 2. You know, in a big rivalry game like this, the emotions run a little bit higher. And now they say automatic first down. So, Coach, what is it? Is it 4th down or first down?
And Virginia wants time. Virginia wants time to talk things over. I know George Welch didn't want to burn a timeout in that situation.
Well, he's trying to, I mean, the far side down marker says first down. You heard Tom Tamer, our referee, say 4th down, and now they've corrected it. That's why Mike Groh called the timeout, because they wanted to know exactly what the situation was.
Now an interesting call for Virginia. George Welch knows as his defense has done the job so far. The guess here is, and now that it's only 4th and a yard instead of maybe 4th and 3 or 4th and 4, Virginia goes for it here. They can pick up the first down inside the 2.
I think this is the call you have to make. Frank Beamer talking to his defensive coaches upstairs, trying to decide what they think Virginia is going to run. You've got nothing to lose. If you don't score it, they're 98 yards away, and they're pretty basic in what they can run on their first couple of plays, and you've been stopping them well here over the last quarter and a half.
Of course, one thing that Virginia has to face is the fact that they've had most of their success running left. Virginia Tech knows that. They've had very little success running the fullback this afternoon. Virginia Tech knows that as well. Rowe is back out there. Charles Wade, Darrell Medley, Jared Washington will be his backfield.
2 tight ends in the ball game. Gatham is in at left tight end with Neely on the right side.
You can get a first down inside the 2. 4th and a yard. Washington hit once, but did he get it?
Well, that's going to be awful close.
Virginia Tech is saying no. It looks like he's short from here.
Like he ran into one of his own blockers.
And they'll bring the chains into measure.
Washington trying to move forward, and the good surge by the defensive front wall of Virginia Tech stacked up Jared Washington.
Virginia Tech is held. Well, the Virginia defense must do it again. Their offense cannot punch it in inside the 5. Virginia Tech will have the football. Still plenty of time left to go in the 3rd. 4:40 left in the 3rd, and Virginia Tech leading 17-10. But a nice bit of drama there.
Well, the other reason why you go for it, even if you don't make it, not only the poor field position, if you force them to punt, they're going to have to punt into the wind from deep in their own territory if you can make it a 3 and out.
DeShazo in the shadow of the end zone goes straight ahead. Nothing fancy here. And it's going to be Dwayne Thomas who returns to the battle for the first time here in the 2nd half. The flak jacket is on as DeShazo gets set for 2nd down. There's Thomas, youngster out of Fort Myers, Florida, sophomore. 5'10", 192, first 1,000-yard back since 1986. 2nd and 9. Play fake, pass to Sanders. Sanders comes out and has the first down at the 15-yard line. Paul London covering on the play for Virginia.
Ran the one-man screen, and Sanders nearly slipped and fell in the end zone. Chris Berry, the one blocker out there for him, as well as John Burke, the tight end. And Sanders, after stumbling, got up, and give the credit to John Burke, the tight end, making the block that secured the first down.
3 catches, 30 yards for Sanders. 1st and 10. Virginia blitzing. It is Thomas changing direction. And taking them on is Keith Lyle, but it's up over the 26-yard line. It's another first down. Joe Swarm with a big block for Virginia Tech.
Now getting that first down has reignited this rhythm-oriented Virginia Tech offense, and the rhythm is back again. Swarm with the block. Also Chris Malone, and a good cutback by Dwayne Thomas. Consecutive plays, consecutive first downs.
1st and 10 at the 28. Fullback Joe Swarm gets rewarded with the ball after the great block. He gets up to the 33. Gain of 5. Swarm out of Falls Church, Virginia. Scored his only collegiate touchdown against Virginia last year at Lane Stadium, Worsham Field in Blacksburg, the home of the Hopkins. 2nd down and 6. plays it nicely out there with Neal. He gets out to the 35-yard line, a gain of 2. Brings up third and about 3.
Good play fake by DeShazo and a good block thrown by Antonio Freeman, but Crocker and Neal filling to set up the third down and a perhaps turning point of the ball game right here.
Big third down conversion now for the Hokies. DeShazo set up in a passing set. Looking for the sidelines, complete to White at the 50. About a 14-yard gain, converts third into first.
Well, the redshirt freshman coming up large here on a third down play. Just run a curl route, find the crease, and in front of McClellan and alongside of London, the drive stays alive.
Virginia Tech 3 for 11 on third down conversions, but that was a big one. Came into the game at 50%. 7 in the box for Virginia. Hand off to Thomas, and he is stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle, Matt McKeska has had himself a pretty good day. 1:36 remaining. And then Virginia Tech will have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter. It has died down a bit now.
Even if they don't score on this possession, they've achieved what they wanted to. They've grounded it out, if you will. Ground time off the clock and regained field position.
And kept Virginia off the scoreboard. Pass behind the line of scrimmage to Sanders. He dropped the football, and now they blow it dead.
Well, you know why he dropped the football? He knew it was going to be a loss. He tried to say, I didn't catch it.
That's right.
But the official said, no, you had it before you let it go. So it goes as a completion for a loss of 5 yards.
Back to the 44-yard line. So it's third down and 15. And a big third down conversion coming. 42 seconds left to go in the third quarter. DeShazo, big rush is on. Throws it deep. Has Freeman out there. London is there to pick it off. At the 11-yard line, so it serves the same purpose as a punt. But Virginia will have the ball back with 28 seconds left in the third. For London, it's his 4th pickoff of the year. The 22nd pass interception by Virginia this season. The first turnover for Virginia Tech this afternoon.
Only the 7th interception all year for Maurice DeShazo, but as Steve indicated, it was as good as a punt, maybe better when you consider the wind conditions.
Virginia with the football. Washington up over the 10, out to the 13. Dwayne Knight in on the tackle. You look at Paul London with his 4th pick of the season. As DeShazo put it up for grabs.
Virginia's not going to get another playoff, and that means they're going to need to find an equalizing score into the wind here in the fourth quarter.
Time runs out in the third. Nothing doing as far as scoring in that quarter, and Virginia Tech clings to a 17-10 lead over Virginia through 3. Scott Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia. Our Exxon ACC Game of the Week's been a dandy. Virginia Tech leading Virginia 17-10. Steve Martin here along with Jack Corrigan and Mike Hogwood. Our final game of the season, and it's been a good one. 2nd down and 9. Virginia in the shotgun. Mike Groh at quarterback. Out there with a nice play fake, and he'll keep it. Plenty of running room to the side. He gets sandwiched by Yarbrough and Del Rico, but he made a nice gain on the play out over the 28-yard line. Let's take a look at our Lee Apparel game summary through 3 quarters. Virginia dominating the statistics continually, especially in rush yardage, but not on the scoreboard.
I'll tell you what, too. Add some more to that with the run by Mike Groh, but you got to believe George Welsh and Tom O'Brien were holding their breath as he went towards that Hokie sandwich.
14-yard gain for Groh. And off to Jared Washington, has had a 100-yard day, but not this time. Ken Brown, an All-American candidate out of Richmond. junior at 6'2", 232, making the tackle. No gain.
Well, he's an impressive player to watch, isn't he? He started 3 years now for Virginia Tech, and he has that quickness you love to see in a guy with some size at that middle linebacker position, where he can recognize the play and then just outrun the interference to the ball carrier.
Washington's toted it 20 times for 126 yards. Play action for Groh, 2nd and 12. The pass incomplete, intended for Pete Allen. Yarborough covering on the play for Virginia Tech.
Well, felt the pressure that time with a little bit of a stunt put on by Virginia Tech, and Mike didn't make a real good throw that time. Of course, that's the first one he's put up into the air since coming into the ball game.
3rd down coming.
He'll have Holmes to his left, and he's become the favorite target for Virginia this afternoon.
Cavaliers 5 for 12 on 3rd down. Big rush is on. Groh over the middle, incomplete, intended for Holmes. The pressure being applied by Cornell Brown.
Now, the 2nd down pass he didn't get enough on. Feeling the pressure there on 3rd down, he wanted to make sure of it and had too much on it. The ball sailed by Holmes.
So with 13:49 left to go on the ball game, Will Bryce is back on. He nailed a 50-yarder with the wind at his back last time out. Big rush is on by Virginia Tech. Sanders calls for the fair catch at the 38-yard line. Let's go to the sidelines. And Mike Hogwood.
Thanks, Steve. I'm with Gary Lyle now, who's the dad of Keith Lyle. And first of all, we might mention that Gary knows a little about the game. He was with the Chicago Bears from '67 to '74. How do you see it so far?
Well, it's tight. It could go either way. I think at halftime we were probably leading in statistics, but problem is you have to lead in the score. I think the kids are confident. It could go either way at this point.
How tough is it to watch your son on defense?
Well, it's harder to watch than it was to play, believe it or not. Tremendous highs and a few lows, but it's heart-wrenching for both me and my wife to watch them play.
Handoff goes to Brian Edmonds, straight ahead.
This being the final game for the seniors here at Virginia, and Mike's got a little more down on the sidelines.
That's right. We're still with Mr. Lyle down here, and as you watch this defense play and your son, they're really having to turn it up here. I know you've been in this position, but it's been neat to see them really rise up here in the 2nd half.
I think just like Virginia Tech got a big play out of their defense the first half and got a score out of it, we're going to have to do something big on defense to pull this thing out.
And off to Dwayne Thomas. Thanks. Straight ahead to the 40-yard line, maybe out to the 42, gain of about 2. Keith Lyle, of course, has had himself quite a career here. 5 pickoffs thus far this season. There's DeShazo looking at 3rd and 6.
Where Lyle ranks all time in the list of interceptors for Virginia.
You know, Marty Aronoff, our statistician, said that Gary Lyle played at George Washington in their last team where they gave up football. 3rd down and 6. Big play here for Virginia Tech, leading 17-10. DeShazo over the middle to White. Cornelius White has it out to the 44-yard line of Virginia, a 14-yard gain.
It's a nice concept. DeShazo, when he's able to break contain, forces the linebackers to chase him, and now watch what happens. He gets outside the contain, so the linebackers chase, and now you throw back. And there's no underneath coverage, and Cornelius White with another big catch on 3rd down.
4 for 12 on 3rd down conversions. 1st and 10. Virginia Tech in Virginia territory now. Changes to a pass call. Pass to Still complete. And Still is hit at the 38-yard line. Gain of 6. Percy Ellsworth is there on the tackle, along with the ever-present Randy Neal. But DeShazo now and the Virginia Tech offense back in that rhythm.
Back in the rhythm, and with the wind to their back, you have the possibility of a back-breaking field goal try should the Virginia defense rise up and force that.
11:20 clock running. Handoff, Dwayne Thomas, and Thomas gets through to the 30-yard line. He's got another first down, a gain of 7. You know, we have the luxury of being right next door to the Virginia Tech coaches, and I happened to look over. Ricky Bussell kind of sat back in his chair and put his hands up and said, okay, we're on our way. Clapped his hands, and you could tell they were in that rhythm, and they are right now. 1st and 10. And off to the fullback, Joe Swarm. And Swarm from the 30 gets down to the 28-yard line. Maybe even a little bit more. Tom Burns, Randy Neal, and Mark Krischbaum in on the tackle for Virginia. But now Tech starting to eat some clock.
Well, when you talk about the spread offense and its value in terms of ball control passing, when you have a team like Virginia Tech that's so balanced, when they can go from the spread to the I formation and beat you both ways, it's tough to defend.
2nd down. Again, DeShazo checks it into a pass. Looking for Freeman, complete. Smith on the tackle. 2nd time he's gone to that pattern, different receiver, and same checkoff.
Well, it's such a tough call for the cornerback on a play like that. Freeman runs down just past the first down marker and checks up, and Carl Smith, he can't afford to bite on it too quickly and have it be a pump faking up the sidelines. That's why it's so difficult when you've got lots of variables to go to stop a team, and that's really what Virginia Tech has going right now. Going to run the clock down, I guess, to 1 second and then call a timeout. I'm not really sure why. That's what they're going to do with 9:46 to go in the game.
They're in clock management right now with 9:46 left to play. Virginia Tech exhausts the timeout. They're in the red zone right now, leading by 7 with 9:46 to play. And back to Scott Stadium. Here's the situation. 9:46 left to play. Virginia Tech 1st and 10 at the Virginia 18-yard line. They've rolled off 3 minutes and 55 seconds of the clock from the time they got the football back at their own 38. Dwayne Thomas straight ahead. Jamie Sharper, Tom Burns in on the tackle for Virginia. Play looked promising, but then shut down. Frank Beamer would like to tack another score on here.
They've been as efficient as any team in the country in the red zone, nearly 90% on the year, and nearly 80% of the time it's resulted in a touchdown. That's why they've averaged 38 points a game.
2nd down and 9 at the 17. Checking out. Freeman topside, same pattern wasn't there. DeShazo had to cover and get up to the 13-yard line, a gain of 4. But they checked into the very same thing. That's their hot play.
Well, and the reason why it wasn't there is that the coverage area for Carl Smith is much smaller now. He can play up on the stop-up route, and if it's a pump and go, he only has about 15 yards behind himself to defend.
3rd down and 4. Virginia Tech 50% on the season at converting 3rd to 1st. They're up by 7. DeShazo on the pitch. Thomas to the corner, and he's driven out by Carl Smith and Percy Ellsworth.
They'll force the field goal as he ends up 3 yards shy of the first down. Went with the dive option. DeShazo lost his balance a little bit, and good catch on the pitch by Thomas. That could have been really disastrous for Virginia Tech if they misfired there.
Virginia has not blocked one this year. The wind is at Ryan Williams' back. He is 4 for 9 in field goals. John Shields to hold. Kick is up from 28 yards out, and it is good. It could be insurance as Virginia Tech lengthens their lead to 10, 20 to 10, 8:19 to play here in Charlottesville.
course, you go back to the 4th down play that Virginia didn't make after the personal foul. Had the personal foul not happened, Virginia would have kicked a field goal. Had it been a 17-13 ball game, it would have been interesting to see what call Frank Beamer would have made there on 4th and 3. Would he have definitely kicked the field goal, or would he tried to have scored? As it is now, the 10-point difference means 2 scores minimum for Virginia, with just a little bit less than 8:20 to play.
And a decision, too, on one of those scores. Well, it's a no-brainer, really. You got a bowl berth riding on the possibility of you winning. You got to go for 2 if Virginia finds themselves in the position. But Virginia Tech worked 5.5 minutes nearly off the clock. Williams' 28-yard field goal lengthens Virginia Tech's lead now to 20-10. There's Williams. You see his foot severed in a lawnmower accident. And he wears that special shoe that's reminiscent of Tom Dempsey's kicking shoe. He kicked a 63-yarder. Our first score of the second half. Washington back to get the kick. With the wind out of the end zone.
Through the uprights.
Way up there in Whoville. And it'll be 1st down and 10 for Virginia. Into the wind now, and the wind is starting to pick up.
Simeon Willis back into the ball game at quarterback after giving way to Mike Grove for a couple of series. And look at that score at South Bend.
Uh-oh.
Boston College up by 10.
And they're playing baseball at Auburn, with Alabama leading 7-5. Simeon Willis on 1st down. Upfield, pass incomplete, intended for Tyrone Davis. Thrown in back of him. Ken Brown covering with William Yarborough.
That's still a catchable ball. You've got to come up big, and look at this score in Ann Arbor. Ohio State needs some help now if they're to go to Pasadena.
From Illinois and Michigan State, the teams that have Wisconsin remaining on their schedule, and they'll have to wait till December 5th because Wisconsin playing Michigan State in Tokyo. Movement up front. Virginia a little anxious with 8:13 left to play. Illegal procedure against the Cavaliers will march them back.
Well, that miss on the catch that should have been for Tyrone Davis. You could see it deflate the Virginia team. I mean, they would have had the ball out near the 40-yard line. The numbers on the day for Simeon Willis, just 5 completions. Not all of that his problem. There have been a few drops on the day. But again, 2 of their top 3 receivers out injured.
Willis back to throw. Pass complete to Davis this time at the Virginia 32-yard line. Scott Jones, Dwayne Knight, Ken Brown all converge.
Now, this kid is a big play receiver. He just has not had the consistency this year, particularly with the thumb problem. Makes his 20th catch of the season. And the reason why he's a big play guy is because he's got size. He's a tough guy to bring down once he catches the ball.
17 yards on it. Second pass complete. Same pattern. Davis again. And Tyrone Davis gets into Virginia Tech territory at the 46-yard line where Scott Jones drives him out. It's a 21-yard gain for Tyrone Davis.
Well, Virginia Tech has been susceptible in their secondary to damage from the opposition. They have negated that for the most part today with good pressure on Willis and Grove. But a couple of quick strikes on curl routes has Virginia on the move.
Davis again set up on the left side of the formation. In the slot is Holmes on 1st and 10. Holmes in motion. Play action. Rushes on. Willis in a crowd. Incomplete, intended for Davis.
Scott Jones on the coverage, and Jones might have hurt himself a little bit as he battled with Davis for the football. Watch the left side to the center of your screen as the ball is a little bit behind. And I don't know if Jones got his, yeah, it looks like he took one in the crazy bone or something, the funny bone on his left elbow.
From his own player. coming up to try to make the hit on Tyrone Davis. 2nd down and 10. Play fake on the draw to Washington. Virginia Tech didn't bite on it. Intercepted by William Yarborough at the 10-yard line.
They had Torian Gray on a monster or rover back blitz. Willis avoided that. But then I think the ball was partially deflected as he let the ball go. There's Gray. He steps away from Gray, but then threw up a wounded duck into the wind. Pete Allen tried to be a defensive back, but Yarborough had him pinned with his body. Got a break in the action with 7:37 left. First turnover through the air today for Virginia. Jefferson Pilot Sports presents the Exxon ACC Game of the Week. Virginia 20, Virginia Tech 20, Virginia 10. 1st and 10, Virginia Tech. Maurice DeShazo finds Dwayne Thomas. Keith Lyle brings him down, but not before he's got another. Virginia Tech 1st down. Let's go to the sidelines and Mike Hogwood. Steve, as you might imagine, in a big rival game like this, there's emotions running high on both sides of the football, and there's starting to be a lot of talk down on the field among the players. 7.5 to go, and the defensive coaches and Frank Beamer just met with the entire defense and said, hey, guys, you got maybe 2-3 more series on defense. Do all your talking by hitting the guys and just hit them between the whistles.
It's so tough to restrain your emotions. You got to deal with these guys every day of the year. It's in your own backyard. 1st and 10. At the 23-yard line. Virginia Tech with the lead in the football. Blitz on for Virginia. DeShazo calmly lets one go, looking for John Burke, his tight end for the first time today. In coverage by the strong safety Keith Lyle.
The comparison between the two quarterbacks, and both with the interceptions, both have found the going difficult at times, particularly throwing the deep ball. DeShazo doing a lot of underneath work. Willis at one point had 8 consecutive incomplete passes.
2nd down and 10 at the 23. Rushes on. McKeska gets decked. DeShazo runs out of bounds with Krishbaum in pursuit.
Now that's a break. First you have the incomplete on 1st down, and now you chase him out of bounds on 2nd down. The Virginia defense not only stopping Tech right here, but also stopping the clock. Virginia with only 2 timeouts remaining, and every second you can save is important.
6:58 to play. Wind not as strong as it was a while ago, but it's still there at Virginia Tech's back. DeShazo now facing 3rd down and 15, leading by 10, 20 to 10. The shovel pass to Thomas, and Mike Frederick is right there. If he were any closer, he'd have caught the football.
Well, you knew it was going to be something safe, a draw play or the little shovel pass, which if it's incomplete doesn't do any damage, and Frederick just overpowered Chris Berry on the play. Make it Chris Malone who he overpowered.
Back in punt formation, Cauley gets the kick away, but it's not a good one. And Virginia will get good field position, their best of the day, at the 44-yard line of Virginia Tech. So maybe the break Virginia was looking for has finally happened. A 26-yard punt by Cauley under pressure.
Well, Virginia has enough time for 2 possessions, but they're probably not going to get more than 2, so they have to score some kind of points here.
6:19 left. Willis. Play fake. Going to Davis. Davis trying to get back to the 1st down marker, gets out of bounds and gets the 1st down at the 32. It's an 11-yard gain. George Del Rico drove him out.
Well, after being quiet for most of the game, 3 straight catches now for Tyrone Davis, and a good job of eluding the tackle and getting the 1st down yardage and still getting out of bounds.
Virginia at the Virginia Tech 31. And this play will die right off the mark.
Well, there was a large roll of paper that got thrown out onto the field, and the back judge whistled a stop, so they should reset the clock back to 6:10. I would guess the Cavaliers would like that to be the case.
Well, there's been some problems in the end zone. Derek Witherspoon has just scored. And Clemson has tied South Carolina 13-all. Florida keeps rolling on in the third quarter.
We got Florida State next weekend in the Gator Alley
in the swamp. And there's the Jefferson Pilot scoreline for only the scores you want.
Well, they gave him 3 seconds back. They moved it up to 6:09.
So 6:09 left to go, and it'll be 1st and 10. Virginia at the 31-yard line of Virginia Tech. Now, Virginia has 2 timeouts remaining. They trail by 10. Bowl bid rides on a win. Willis to Pete Allen, changes direction in a foot race for the corner. Yarborough catches him from behind at the 3. A 28-yard pass and run from Willis to Yarborough.
They blitzed Ken Brown on the play, and they were able to get around him. Allen on a little curl route turns it into a big play, but Virginia has to put it in the end zone. I don't think they want to deal with the field goal here. Washington with the block on Brown to give Willis the time, and Allen with a great run after the catch.
1st and goal from the 3. Virginia's been here before. They're here again. Touchdown.
Now the decision, but there isn't one. George Welsh is going to kick the extra point now, because scoring the touchdown first means a field goal gets you the tie, or if you can take it down and score, you get the win. If you go for 2 here, I think George, feeling the way momentum is, he's going to get the ball back whether Virginia Tech moves it or not, and let's kick the extra point here and then go for the win on the next possession.
Well, with the time remaining and the way the defense is held, there's the kick. It is good by Kyle Kirkheide, who's only missed 1 all year. 5:41 left to go. Virginia's got the touchdown. They're within 3. And with time remaining, they have a chance to get the ball back one more time.
Here's another look at the touchdown run for Jared Washington. Good lead block by Charles Way, the fullback. Cruises into the end zone. A 3-point ball game now with an eternity of time if you're a Hokie fan, as they took just 38 seconds to put it into the end zone.
And that's why George Welch decided not to go for 2. They have a chance not only to get a field goal, but they have a chance to get a touchdown and take the lead.
Another big day for Jared Washington, playing in his final game at Scott Stadium.
Rafael Garcia getting set to kick it away. Back deep, Dwayne Thomas and Tommy Edwards for Virginia Tech. Thomas drops it. Edwards is there to pick it up. Boy, that was close. Out to the 25-yard line. Joe Rowe making the stop to make sure there was no more forward progress, and Virginia Tech has it. Watch this.
Tommy Edwards, the freshman. Look at that perfect bounce for him. That was a big play for Virginia Tech. That'll be up to the Hokie offense and the Virginia defense. Who's going to win the test of wills on this series of downs?
Mike Frederick, Matt McKeska, Ryan Keel, Mark Krischbaum, the front 4. 1st and 10. Dwayne Thomas. And Thomas gets up over the 30 to the 33-yard line. Percy Ellsworth and Jamie Sharper in on the tackle for Virginia. Gain of about 7.
Chris Berry and Damian McMahon, along with Jim Pine, doing a good job of being very productive on 1st down. Love that 2nd and short.
Virginia, first team in ACC history to score 300 points in regular season. 5 straight years. Here's Dwayne Thomas straight ahead to the 35-yard line. But they'd like 3, and ideally would like 6 more here.
Well, he's going to be a yard shy. It'll be 3rd and 1. Now, do you go straight ahead again behind your All-American center Pine, or do you play fake and run the option wide?
DeShazo has hit his last 2 third-down conversions. On the afternoon in that category, 4 for 12. 3rd down and a foot.
They're going to go right up behind Jim Pine.
They're in the eye. They pitch to the corner. Thomas has the first down. Todd White makes the tackle.
Gutsy call. I really thought they'd take it up inside, but Dwayne Thomas squared the shoulders and got the first down. The clock now becomes a factor.
4:16 left to go, and it'll restart now that the chains are set.
Virginia had to use a timeout, so they only have 2 left.
Thomas, 23 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 37. Handoff goes to fullback Joe Swarm, and Swarm has to be brought down in Virginia territory by Keith Lyle at the 48-yard line.
Virginia sent a lot of people and anticipated the ball going to Thomas again. And the little quick hitter to the fullback. You see everybody run by him. Tackle was not made up close by Paul London, the free safety, who had come flying up, and the one-time walk-on with as big a run as he's had in his Virginia Tech career.
14 yards. 1st and 10. Handoff goes to Thomas, and Jamie Sharper sends him in reverse. Ball popped loose, but it's blown dead, and it's going to be 2nd down and about 8. 3:18 left to go, and the clock moving.
Depending on what happens here on this 2nd down play, Virginia may opt to use one of their 2 remaining timeouts after this play. If it's 3rd and more than 5, I think you can look for the Cavaliers to use a timeout.
2nd down and 7. Pitch to Thomas. And Thomas, a shoestring tackle by Jamie Sharper, stops him right there.
Now they opt not to use the timeout here, but you know it'll happen after 3rd down. 2:35 and counting. Virginia Tech saw Virginia dominate the clock in the first half. They've dominated the clock in the second half.
And now they must stop Maurice DeShazo again. Tech 5 of 14 on 3rd. DeShazo tucks it under, does not get it. Randy Neal, Mike Frederick, Jamie Sharper, all there at the 45-yard line. And now a timeout called by Virginia. The punting unit is on for Virginia Tech. We have 2:11 left. Virginia Tech 20, Virginia 17. Virginia Tech 20-17 over Virginia. 2:11 left to go. Virginia has 1 timeout left. It's 4th down, and Robbie Colley into punt.
May take their time and try and draw Virginia off sides and perhaps get a cheap first down. The 5 yards with the wind at Colley's back won't mean that much.
He gets it up in the air. Fair catch called for by Washington at the 10-yard line, and Virginia with a breeze of about 15 miles an hour in their face, 90 yards from the end zone. 2:04 left to go.
Well, the true 2-minute offense right here. The 2:04 offense.
Simeon Willis scored in 38 seconds last time, thanks to a 28-yard pass to Demetrius Allen that set up Jared Washington's 3-yard run. Rolling left. Pass too tall. Yarborough covering. Pete Allen there to get it.
Willis took a heck of a hit at the end of the play from Cornell Brown, and he's hurt.
And it's cold now that the shadow of the stadium has crept over all but maybe the far sideline of the field. And that makes that wind all the more biting. There's Willis's numbers. He struggled today.
Watch the end of the play. At bottom of the screen, it's J.C. Price, who actually 59 rather than 58, who put the lick on it. 2 minutes to play. 2nd down and 10. Pass is complete to Tyrone Davis for the first down. He's got it at the 22-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 1:53 left. Davis with 4 receptions here for 64 yards in the 4th quarter.
1st and 10, Virginia. Willis getting outside. Pass is complete to Larry Holmes. It's just shy of the 30-yard line, it appears. It'll be a gain of 8. Ken Brown there for the tackle. He got out of bounds to stop the clock.
Willis buying time, was able to elude the rush. Ken Brown, the linebacker, was blitzing on the play. And Holmes was also able to stop the clock by getting out of bounds.
He's caught 5 balls for 95 yards in a score. Willis on the first down pass to Holmes in the flats, left before he had it. Torian Gray covering on the play for Virginia Tech.
Came back to that fold screen that had scored a touchdown in the first half, and Torian Gray, the rover back, was right on top of Holmes, and probably better off for Virginia that Larry didn't catch that ball.
Brings up 3rd and 3, however, for Virginia. 1:43 showing on the clock. 1 timeout remaining. Big 3rd down coming for Virginia. Pass upfield, incomplete, intended for Davis. Virginia screaming for interference. They won't get it. Scott Jones covered on the play. Brings up 4th down and 3.
Again, the ball was delivered there. Tyrone Davis in a crowd couldn't come away with it. This was a 1st down, and the shove came after the ball was there. That even if the shove had come beforehand, that's a ball that should have been caught.
Davis split wide to the bottom. Holmes and Allen into the pattern too. The pass batted down by George Del Rico. Virginia Tech holds.
And for the first time in Frank Beamer's tenure in Blacksburg, the Hokies have a victory in Charlottesville.
Well, they're 1:36 from it. But they're closing in, and their offense is on the field in Virginia territory at the 29.
Had Larry Holmes for the first down, but Del Rico with the hand up was able to come up big for the Hokies.
Frank Beamer sheds the headset with 1 timeout. DeShazo goes down on a knee and forces Virginia to take their final time with 1:32 left to go.
Big play by Del Rico, but you got to go back to the 3rd down play in which Tyrone Davis had the first down and should have come up with the catch that would have kept the drive alive.
Virginia Tech leading 20-17. They're already Independence Bowl bound. Their opponent could be Illinois, could be North Carolina State. Right now they don't care who it's going to be. What matters right now is the next 1:32 and the possibility that they could break a string that is extended back to 1985. Have not won in Charlottesville since that time. Rivalry between these 2 teams deep. The schools compete in the same territories for players. They live among each other all year long.
That's what I was going to say. The fans are all over the place for the 2 schools in the state. So, I mean, this is as little of a home field advantage in this series as you could get, because there are always plenty of Cavalier fans in Blacksburg, and there are plenty of Hokie fans here in Charlottesville.
Maurice DeShazo now, knowing that Virginia cannot stop the clock again. Looking at 2nd down and about 12. He's got to get a 1st down, however, but he gets back and downs it again Going in reverse to the 41-yard line. Frederick downs him, but the clock continues to roll. All DeShazo has to do is keep the ball in play.
Well, actually, they're going to have to punt the ball away because there are more than 50 seconds remaining. 25 seconds to get the ball snapped, and they're just concerned with the idea here, removing as much time as possible. They're already down to 5 on the huddle clock. 3rd and 22. Virginia Tech calls a timeout. They have 1 left. And Maurice DeShazo goes to the sideline. Our BMW players of the game, the 2 running backs, appropriately enough. Dwayne Thomas, 25 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown. That coming in the first half. Jared Washington had a great day offensively for the Virginia Cavaliers. 21 carries, 129 yards, and 2 TDs. There's Dwayne Thomas and Jared Washington, our BMW players of the game. One of them is going to go away here happy. 52 seconds left to go. Virginia Tech now looking at 3rd down. They have 1 timeout remaining. Virginia does not have any. So you get yourself into a situation here again. You'll have DeShazo run around to try and buy some time, then go down. Here's DeShazo now, trying to keep it in play, and he gets down back at the 48-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down, so the punting unit, well, actually, when you think of it, they won't have to come on. They'll just take 4th down and go down on 1 knee, and the clock will roll out.
No, the clock would stop on the change of possession, so they're going to have to do something on 4th down. Because when there's the huddle clock, it's about 7 seconds ahead of the game clock, so there'll be 7 seconds left. I mean, that'd be the other thing he could do. He could take the snap and run back and try and run out the final 7 seconds.
And that's apparently what they're going to try to do. 9 seconds now on the clock, and they
called their last timeout.
Called their last timeout.
Well, you go through these situations all the time to make certain on it. Other possibility you could do is you get into punt formation and you tell your punter to run to the end zone, provided, of course, he gets there, doesn't get tackled before the clock expires deep in your own territory.
Virginia Tech fans in the end zone trying to get a little closer to the field. They want to storm on here. See scores around the country. It's rivalry Saturday. Clemson now has pulled ahead on a Nelson Welch field goal. This score continues to amaze people, as does this one. Michigan has upended Ohio State 28-0. This score 20-17 Virginia Tech with 9 seconds left. Robbie Colley is in punt formation. Now he can head to the end zone and take a safety.
I don't think he'd get there. I think he's going to try and kick it.
I think it's dangerous for him to do so. He has to carry it. There's the kick. Washington has to bring it all the way, and will not. That'll end it. Virginia Tech ends a string that extends back to 1985.